price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
Welcome, my brothers and my sisters, to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. I'm your host, Afro Elite. All right, we have a very special live. We do this at the end of the month or the beginning of the month, depending on the day. But we have an open mic live where we just allow people to call in, whether you agree or disagree. We allow people to discuss things that happen. It's just an open mic. You want to discuss anything that happened over the last month. If you want to discuss any questions or anything like that, we let people call in, give their feedback, leave a comment, ask a question, whatever the case may be. So this is what we have. We do this for the community because we are a community and we bond together. So it's good to communicate with each other. Okay, you're noticing I'm using the word commune a lot. Commune, community, communicate, all of these things. Everything is everything. All right, we had a really solid month, August. This is the end of August, the last day of August. Farewell, August. You've been great to us, so thank you very much for that. There was an issue, though. There was a live stream. I don't know if you guys remember. There was a live stream that we did like a few weeks ago where we were discussing a situation and then it got age restricted. I still haven't put that live stream back up, mind you, by the way. That live stream got age restricted, and then because of that, it was like because of that, it was it kind of threw us off the algorithm. It threw us off the algorithm. So we made a really good recovery. We made a really good recovery, but it's still like it's unfortunate. So really, September, I'm really looking forward to the month of September. I think that month is going to be a lot better for the channel because I'm going to be more careful with making sure that we don't go through the hiccup that we went through in August. We was doing great in the beginning, and then we had that age restriction thing, and then bam, that threw us off. And then, you know what I'm saying, we made a good recovery, so we were able to kind of pick up a little bit. We had a bump in the road. We were able to pick up next month, which is tomorrow, we hitting the ground running the whole month. Believe me, we running the whole month. Okay. So, and I know a lot of you guys are saying that you guys want to have more frequent call-ins. So we'll find some way to work that in as well too. There's hold on, let me turn that. There's some improvements that we're going to be making. Also too, StreamYard has added some nice stuff. They've added some sound effects. So I'm going to be trying to, test these out, see what's up with that. Let's see what's up with the sound effects. We're going to be doing that. So it's some cool stuff coming up. So let's just do a reminder real quick about the month of August before we open up the phone lines. Appreciate you guys. It's Sunday afternoon. Y'all still in here. Y'all in there. We close to 100 people, only a few minutes. So y'all in here pretty deep. All right. Let's start off with whoa. Let me play the copyright disclaimer to establish to YouTube that everything we play thus forth is protected under the guise of fair use. Let me not do that. Let me play the copyright disclaimer. All right. And as I'm doing that, what I would greatly appreciate you guys doing is hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share button, all that stuff. We'll be right back. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, we in here deep, okay? Oh, we are in here deep. Okay, how's y'all day going? Hopefully y'all weekend was pretty good. Hopefully y'all weekend was pretty damn good. So let's start off with this. All right. Now we all understand that there was a boycott going on. Okay. Now the boycott going on for the month of August was a boycott of immigrants, and that started off with Essence. We're just doing a brief recap. We're gonna open up the phone lines in a little bit, but we're just doing a brief recap because I want you guys to understand exactly what led to a lot of this stuff. Okay, what led to the whole situation with Essence, right? Okay, Essence, They stripped away the foundational Black American essence of Essence. All right. They took it away. They stole it. They stripped it. So this is what Essence was like in 2025, which was during the month of July. All right.
Simone, we did an actor from Nigeria, and culture means earth, motherland, Africa, originality, and culture is the essence of our being, the togetherness, the oneness, the community, the society that we're from, and we should always celebrate that. So yes, whatever it is, if you're African, go back to Africa and connect to your source. Thank you. Hi, my name
So Essence really tried to do this whole Essence is about Africa, and Africa is the motherland, and everything is great with Africa. Essence did that, and we let Essence know, like, and you know what, we didn't really, we really didn't appreciate that. Okay, look at this.
At the convention center was garbage. A lot of space, very few vendors, and I've been going to Essence a long time. I've never seen it like this. Used to be one of the best places to go to support small Black businesses. That was not the case this year. I definitely hope it gets better because this was not it at all.
Okay, all right. It wasn't really good. Man, y'all in here, we only a couple minutes deep, and y'all already, we not even 10 minutes. We got well over 100 people in here. Can we do ourselves a solid? Okay. Oh, I want to test this the sound effect. Okay. Well, I want to test the sound effect, so I'm gonna play the applause button. Can you guys put the clap emoji in the chat room? I want to see something real quick. Everybody who's listening, put the clap emoji in the chat room. That's just clap. Put the clap emoji in the chat room. I want to see something real brief. All right. All right. So we did that, and we let her know. We let it be known that don't appreciate that. Okay, hold on. Let me know if you guys can hear this. We'll turn the volume up a little bit on this. You guys hear that? Okay. Okay. What do y'all think? I didn't make this, but okay, y'all heard that? Y'all like it? Because I can always like add that. That's the default stuff. I want to know if I want to add some. I want to add some more sound effects. So y'all let me know if y'all think that's good. Okay. If y'all think it's good, if it needs to be kept, put a thumbs up emoji. Okay. If y'all think I need to like make a new one, or if I need to make one myself, put thumbs down. Let me know. I want to do a survey. I want to see if the sound effects are good, because I think I'm going to use it during the call lines. I just thought of that. I literally just thought of that. Okay, literally just thought of that. So with the whole situation with Essence, people's all like, you know what? No, that's not how it is. Foundational Black Americans, we expressed our disappointment with Essence, and our disappointment was gaslit, saying that, hey, we bought Essence, we can do what we want to do with Essence. Essence don't belong to y'all no more. It was a lot of that going on. Okay. Look like this.
Keep non-Black Americans away from things that are for Black Americans. Why is there a Jollof versus Jambalaya competition at Essence Fest?
Because this is the owner of Essence Fest. And as you can see, he was born in Liberia. That's not Mississippi. That's a country in Africa. Okay? Again, this is the CEO of Essence Fest. And unfortunately, she is not from Delaware. She is from Kenya, which is also a country in East Africa.
Why are there African and Caribbean vendors at Essence Fest?
Because it was originally created by you guys. You know, you created a space for yourself, but then you sold it. You gave it away. Sold it to African people. So now you can't pick and choose who can come into that space because it's no longer yours. You sold it. That's kind of how the law of ownership works.
Okay. Look. All right then. If we gonna do that, if it's gonna be like y'all, you sold it, so we don't got no say so in it no more, then they can do what they want to do with it, or they don't have to respect the history of Essence. They don't have to respect the culture of Essence and foundational Black American culture. I mean, just the energy and the vibe she gave. It's not like She even tried to like meet in the middle, like, hey, you know what? It's not even, we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to add our culture into it, add our little spin. It was really on some colonizer stuff, like, hey, this is mine now. We're going to do what we want to do with it. It's Africans. And notice how she's talking, and if she's Caribbean, but she's speaking on behalf of Africans because they see each other as fellow immigrants. That's how they see each other. So they view it as like a gang that's attacking us. Okay, they view it as us versus them. That's how they see it. So because of that, we was all like, okay, since talking to y'all just ain't gonna work, if that's how we gonna do it, and y'all feel like we don't owe no we don't owe nobody no respect or anything like that because we quote unquote didn't we sold it. All right, then fine. Then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna leave all of y'all stuff alone. Since it's gonna be on that time, we're just gonna leave everything alone. All right.
We should control the fest when we the one who bought it.
Black Americans, come here. Come here. This is a message for y'all, especially my Black American women. Come here. Listen. I think it's time for us to show how strong and how powerful the Black American dollar is, since they don't believe us. I think it's time to boycott the braiding shops. That's what I think it's time to do. It's time to boycott the braiding shops. Stop going. We know how to braid. Let's braid our own hair. Support our own small businesses. Stop going to the braid shops. Teach them how to have some fucking respect, because they have none. Black American power. Black American dollar. They need us. We don't need them. Remember that. Do I wish there could be unity in a community? Absolutely. But that ain't gonna happen until they give us our fucking respect. And they've never done it. So, fuck all that. Boycott time. No more African braid shops. It's time to boycott the African braid shops. Stop going. Let's show them how powerful our Black American dollar is, since they think we can't control this fucking narrative. Since they think we got everything, let's show them how much we really fucking got. Black American power. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. Like, follow, share, comment below.
All right, so that's what happened. You know, it was all like, and this is what led up to the whole situation with the boycott. That happened in the beginning of August. I'm running everybody back real quick. We're not going to play everything, but then it was gaslighting. It was all like, man, a boycott? Man, why don't y'all, quote unquote, do it now? Y'all, they started mocking the boycott. Oh, y'all, why don't y'all boycott this and boycott this? They started mocking the boycott, okay?
In African salons. Take notes, because I took a couple and I want y'all to listen. If you're going to start boycotting African salons, listen up. If you can't name more than 10 African countries and their languages, this message is for you. No more henna, no more iPhone. Fulani and Senegalese braids, no more. Prom dresses, prom 2025, prom 2020. No more Nigerian, no more African dresses. I don't want to see it. No African sponge, no black soap, no shea butter. None of that. No more waist beads. I want waist beads. No more. Don't listen to Sade. Don't listen to no Afro beats. Listen to no I'm a piano. Don't claim Obama. Obama is Kenyan. Stop dating our man. No more twerking. FBA, fear of being African. It's real, y'all. We're all
right. The FBA, fear being African, and we're going to have to talk about a lot of that stuff. Okay. And all we said was, hey, bet.
I better stop playing. I'm on your heels. Wow, I better not be nobody in there empty. I better stop playing. I'm on your heels.
You see that? The whole, if y'all thought we wasn't gonna stand on business, and first off, that was just August, Clearly, y'all need more than just August. And it is what it is. Y'all need more than August. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. All right. But if y'all thought that August didn't hurt them, they're not going to say it because they don't want to admit to it. But August hurt them. August hurt them. And it didn't take all of us. But August hurt them because the boycott even started before August. All right. But they was all like, man, y'all ain't going to do nothing. Why don't y'all do it now? Why don't y'all do it now? You don't really see them saying that. If I want you guys to understand something. I want you guys to understand how strong you guys are. Okay. How effective we are together. When we unify together, when we lock in, when we get on code, all of that, how strong we are. If the boycott, this is the last day of August. If the boycotts were unsuccessful, they would be all online bragging. The tethers would be bragging. They would be all like, oh, you guys talked about a boycott. Well, look what happened. We still are here. Ha ha. We won. Y'all lost. Ha ha. That's what y'all know it because y'all know that's how they do. They do that with every single thing. Y'all already know that. They would be bragging about how FBA don't matter. We're only online. All we do is talk. We're not real people. All of that stuff. They would be saying all of that. You don't hear them saying that. You don't hear them saying that. These are the people who brag the most. These are the people who told us to do it. These are the people who said, I dare you to do it. These are the people who said it doesn't matter if you want to boycott. Remember? Remember, they said it didn't matter. Okay? So we said, all right, okay, we're going to do what we're going to do. Now, it's a lot of silence. You could hear a pin drop from across the room. That's how quiet it was. That's how quiet it is. See, this is power, y'all. This is power. All of that wolfing they was doing, you don't see them wolfing no more. That's funny how that work, huh? That's funny how that work, all right? So I want y'all to understand, they're never going to say, hey, guys, y'all won, we lost, please stop, we surrender. They're not going to say that. They're just going to be very, very quiet. They're going to be like, damn, they was really serious about this boycott, man. We should kind of calm down. You notice before the boycott, they chest was out. They nose was turned. They said, boycott, please, nigga, what? Then the boycott went on. Now, you don't see them really talking about it. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if it's enough, though. I don't know. I don't know. We're going to have to see. It's getting kind of quiet out here. Speaking of things getting quiet, let's all talk about your girl, Tyler.
On these debates that they be having about your identity as a South African colored person. What does that even mean?
Let's talk about your girl, Tyler. So Tyler, Miss Colored from Africa, South Africa, she came over here making a bunch of amo piano music or whatever the case is. She identifies as colored, which is a caste, kind of like an anti-black hierarchy in South Africa that she apparently is very proud of to be identified as, because to her that makes them better than the Negroes. Okay, she never has spoken against the whole caste system. But the thing is that you are not in South Africa, you're in America. And then when we asked for clarification, like, hey, hold on, what type of energy you coming with? She looked back and she wanted her handlers, her manager, her agent, whoever the case is, to address that.
Can we not? Por favor.
Oh, I like that. We keeping that in the interview too. I like when they talk from the back and say we can't. I like that. That's good. That's even better.
All right. Oh, did you guys know she dropped an album? A lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people really weren't checking for it, but she dropped an album. It flopped. EP did bad. Okay, especially considering the amount of publicity that she's been getting for the last few years. I mean, on award shows, getting awards, all of that stuff. We don't have to run through the whole thing now. We don't have to do all of that. But we were saying, hey, Tyler, Tyler came here, she read the wrong. Tyler came here, she she didn't do what she was supposed to be doing now. That's not how Tyler was supposed to be, but boy, the Tethers was pissed off. Listen to this.
Why isn't Tyler doing well in the United States market or the Black American market?
I don't think y'all seem to understand how much FBA hates Tyler. FBA hates Tyler more than anything. They hate her. The moment she came out and said that she was colored and not black, and that in South Africa, people like her are referred to as colored, that was it. They have hated her ever since. FBA hates Tyler more than anything. Y'all been waiting for this, huh? Y'all been waiting for this moment. FBA, you can have this. You can have this. Enjoy it. Enjoy it, okay? After your failed boycott, we gonna let you have this. Go ahead, make fun of Tyler. But before you do, let me remind y'all who's Tyler. This is Tyler.
Thank you so much, everybody. I know.
Now let me tell y'all this. It does not matter if her album flops. It does not matter. If Tyler fails as a musician, it does not matter. She can still get into Hollywood. If Tyler fails as a movie actor, she can still model. If Tyler fails as a model, she can still become a streamer. Tyler already made it. She made it. That girl has a Grammy. There's absolutely nothing any of y'all FBA can do to stop that girl from winning. The only person who can stop Tyler from winning is Tyler.
Which is what she doing. We don't be thinking about Tyler like plotting on, and then it became a thing. Why y'all hate Tyler? Why y'all plotting on Tyler? Nobody was plotting on Tyler or was praying for Tyler's downfall. Hey, we told you, hey, when you come over here, this is how you operate. This is what you do. This is what you don't do. According to them, they don't feel like they need to operate the way we tell them to. So a lot of them are learning the hard way. Tyler had to learn the hard way. All right. We've been saying something, hey, like something off with your attitude, and there was a whole lot of them. Oh, y'all leave her alone. Oh, y'all just don't understand her culture. Y'all want her to be something she ain't. Okay, well, all right, okay. All right, then. Then she turned her audience off. That's what she did. And when she needed her audience to be there, her audience wasn't there, okay? Because she already put a bad taste in people's mouth. We told her what the temperature was. If we tell you, this is, see, we foundational Black Americans, we understand temperature very, very well. Let me tell you something. We get it very well. We really do. So if we tell you, hey, it's hot, like it's hot outside, oh, that means it's hot outside. That means it's like 90, 95, or maybe up in there. It's not a cloud in sight. The sun is beaming, blasting, a full blast. It's a hot day. If we say it's hot, it's hot. So you got to come dressed appropriately. Bring your water bottles, bring a popsicle, bring some one of those mini fans or whatever the case is. You got to dress appropriately. Make sure your AC in the car is working, all that stuff. Okay, make sure you're hydrated. If we say it's hot, if we say it's cold, if we say it's cold, that don't mean put on a little hoodie. Okay, that's not what that means. If we say it's cold, that don't mean about 60 something degrees. We say it's cold. That means it's like 40, 30, maybe 20 something degree, like cold. If we say it's freezing out there, that means about 20. All right. That means put on your big coat and button that joint up. That's what that means. That means put on a hat. That means wear some gloves, maybe wear a scarf. We tell you the temperature of the room. We know, because this is our home. This is our environment. So when we tell you something, you got to do it. If you don't do it, cool. We ain't here to make nobody do nothing. That's fine. Y'all don't want to do, okay, it's cold. You don't want that. Now, when you come out here and you got yourself on a little jacket and you open it up and all that, hey. Now, when you get the flu, don't say nothing to us. That's all we say. Now, when you come over here and you don't follow what we told you to do, you don't read the temperature, because we know it. You don't read the temperature. Okay, then you're going to get a cold. That is what it is. You want to do it your way. This ain't your home. Okay, we told you what the room was. We told you what the temperature was. Your job is to act accordingly. You are not to rebel against what we say. And that's what they learning. If we say it's hot and you want to come out here and you don't want to have your water and all that stuff and you got a heat stroke, oh, well, we told you. See, that's one thing about us. We're very hospitable people. We'll tell you what to do. We will tell you what to do. We will. Now, if you don't listen, consequences may follow. Okay? You know what they say? Let me tell you what they say. They say a hard head make a soft ass. That's what they say. They say a hard head make a soft ass. That's what they say. Everybody learning today. Everybody learning. We told Tyler, hey, Tyler, that's not how you operate. They said, hey, Tyler don't got to do that. She not from here. Okay. So now Tyler's going through a little flu right now. It is what it is. So that was August, man. August was interesting. It's not just that, okay. We also got to talk about the shift between Amanda. Amanda, I got to be very careful with this. Amanda is out there. Amanda was out there debating some damn on the Jubilee thing, debating the damn
saying that they're going to go get white people now. They did.
It is imperative that black people from other places understand the disparate difference that they exist from black people in the United States.
Now I can't play too much of that because Jubilee be copyright my ass. Jubilee be copyrighting me. Jubilee do not like me. Or no, Jubilee did that with a lot of people who did commentary on the whole situation with Amanda. But then we started pulling stuff up and we was like, Amanda, I don't know. We don't know if we can really rock with you like that. Your paperwork ain't, you made a submission, but your paperwork really ain't coming back that clean. That's what we said. We looked at it and like, I don't know, Amanda, because this was you when we started delineating in the beginning.
Allowed to speak about blackness and their blackness. What does that person look like? Where is that person from? Some people are like, well, Lovey can't talk because she wasn't born here, even though she grew up here since she was 9 years old. Amanda can't talk about being a black woman because she light skinned. You know, can Tiffany Haddish talk about being a black woman? She from the hood. No.
Okay, and listen, I swear I wish, years ago, let me say this. Years ago, when I was first starting YouTube, I used to do a lot more, panels and stuff like that, right? I was more interested. I was, on Twitter more, and I was talking to a bunch of people. And I wanted to do a live about colorism in the community, okay? Just between foundational Black Americans, because I understand other ethnic groups of people, they got a different thing. I wanted to do that. And I wanted to give, I wanted to get some light-skinned people. I wanted to get some dark-skinned people. And then I wanted to kind of get some like brown-skinned people. People all in. Let me tell you, I did not go through with that. As I was trying to set that up, it went absolutely left. That was years ago. And I never even tried it. I said that. I said this would be way more destructive than it would be beneficial. I can already tell. This is going to be incredibly more destructive, a more destructive conversation than it would be to benefit. Even if I tried my best to operate it that way, it would be. So I let it go. And what I find is that as long as we can stay focused on other things, and as long as we can stay focused on the code and the mission and all of that stuff, I feel like the thing, especially when it comes to foundational Black Americans, the whole light skin, dark skin thing, it doesn't really plague the community like people keep trying to make it. And I'm not trying to say it's not a real thing. I'm not trying to belittle anybody's experience, but I'm speaking on foundational Black Americans. And maybe this is me, but I don't think it really plagues the community the way they make it seem. Not in my opinion. I don't think anybody, and maybe I could be wrong, I don't think anybody is like subscribed or not subscribed because I'm light skinned or I'm not light skinned. I don't think people are like, oh, he's talking on issues, but you know what I'm saying? He's light skinned, so I don't know if he should really be speaking on black issues. I've never heard anybody say that. Okay. Now, of course, you'll have your haters be all like, you're light skinned. I mean, they don't really have much else to say. But as far as the community goes, I don't really see when it comes to like reparations, when it comes to actually getting business handled, I don't see the community being all like, well, I mean, if we have a spokesman, that spokesman got to pass the paper brown test. We don't now. That used to be a thing. We don't really, we ain't really tripping like that in 2025 on no light skin, dark skin stuff like that. A lot of that stuff is put in the community. A lot of the light skin, dark skin stuff, because we understand we're very diverse. Even our skin tones and our features are very diverse. And what I've noticed is a lot of the light skin versus dark skin stuff like that is pushed in the community. The conversation and that stuff is really pushed to make it seem like there's this ongoing feud between light skin and dark skin, okay? Or even between black men and black women. Let me show you something on Twitter I posted, because Jubilee, the same channel that she was on, where she was talking about black radicals versus black conservatives, also has some things where they talk about the community. Let me share this with you all. Let me take this down. I want to share this with you all. This is a post I made on Twitter about the situation with Jubilee, or about the situation with the whole light skin, dark skin, black men, black women. If you guys wonder why it seems like this is always a ongoing topic that just comes out of nowhere, that's because you have people who push this stuff in the community. Okay, Jubilee, the YouTube channel Jubilee, is owned by a Korean American named Jason Y. Lee. This is Jason Y. Lee right here. Okay, this dude is Korean. This is a Korean dude. He's not in Korea. He's another player, not in Korea. He fled Korea to make or to be in America. He's a Korean immigrant. Okay. Now it says, notice how the gender division is never pulled up in the Asian community, yet you'll see hold on, sorry, my bad. I gotta open the thing up a little bit. Notice how the gender division is never pulled in the Asian community. He's Korean. He's not doing things that would divide the Asian community up. You don't see that. The Koreans versus Japanese, Japanese versus Chinese, Koreans versus Vietnamese, North Korea versus South Korea. He's not doing that, but they do that, or he does that when it comes to black people. Yet you'll see non-black people promoting social division in the black community. Now notice this. The whole light skin, dark skin thing, where it's a whole bunch of, can light skin and dark skin people really get along? Do they understand each other? All of that stuff, you know. And then he does a thing, well, black men versus black women. Do black men and black women really understand each other? Can we ever get along? All of this stuff is pushed. Now, is this to say that we've never had any social issues? No. Is this to say we've never had any communal issues with each other as far as light skin and dark skin or colorism or anything like that? No, this is not to say that. You can look back in the past and you can see situations of colorism. You can see situations of, especially when it comes to the boule, and like the fraternities and sororities, even still today, to be very honest, with the fraternities and sororities and all of that stuff, you can see the brown paper bag test. And in 2025, not just in 2025, but we have tried to make a lot of progress to kind of get rid of all of those generational curses that we used to have. And I'm not saying that we have always been a perfect people. We are human beings, and human beings have flaws, especially considering our background. We've had things implanted in our community. We've had cycles and sins that we've had to overcome and break. A lot of times we had crack cocaine put in the community. For crying out loud. We had drugs put in our community. So we've had things that we've had to overcome. And it seems like even the conversation of colorism is something that we're starting to see more very educated and mature people talk about, try to have a dialogue about, and we're trying to, we're starting to not like see each other's point of views, you know what I'm saying? But we're coming to an understanding that a lot of the colorism or in colorist behaviors or patterns that we've seen in the community is toxic, and we're trying to end certain cycles of toxicity that's been implanted in the community. And I keep noticing that every time we try to end like some type of toxic cycle or pattern in the community, and every time we try to get more on code, you'll have somebody coming up and doing stuff like this. Black men versus black women. You'll have somebody coming up doing stuff like this, or light skin versus dark skin, and they're not even from here. This man is a whole Korean. Okay. So I can't help but notice that. So I'm saying this to let you guys know that trust very few sources. Trust very few sources. I'm not even saying that, because it was years ago. I'm not even saying that we can't talk about colorism, or colorism shouldn't be talked about. Colorism is a thing that should be talked about. I'm not saying it's over. I'm not saying that, but colorism should be talked about, but it should be talked about with people who have good intentions. Okay. An intention on ending, you know what I'm saying, the cycle. It should be that, with somebody who wants to come and then clean the situation up and make it better. Not somebody who wants to come in and exploit the community, or somebody who wants to come in and stir the pot, you know what I'm saying? Somebody who wants to come in and create further division, So we got to be very careful. So I noticed that too. And a lot of that, let's be honest, comes from a lot of immigrants. All right. You got tethers who do that. You got immigrants. Because let's be honest, in a lot of these Asian communities, India, the Asian community, as far as China and stuff like that, they have strong caste systems when it comes to color. Color is a very, very big deal. So a lot of them bring a lot of colorist beliefs and patterns to America. Okay. In India, colorism is deep. And they're very open about it. They're very open about skin bleaching and all of that stuff. They're very open about that around the world. They don't like to admit it when they come here, okay? Because we have been the ones fighting to make dark skin and blackness unstigmatized. We've been the ones doing that as a community. We've been the ones fighting against that. They've been capitulating to colorist ideals and standards and all of that stuff. They've been the ones who've been falling in line and acquiescing to all of that. All right. So they get to the skin bleaching and stuff like that as we've been fighting. And a lot of that stuff comes here. So we got to be very careful with that. All right. We have to be very careful. Let me get to some of the super chats. Shout out to Black Logic. He says, great work, brother. Thank you very much, brother. I appreciate you. And then my brother, Tell It Like It Is. He says, out here supporting. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. So we're going to get to now. I think we kind of did, I think, a good recap on the month of August. So now I'm going to open up the phone lines so you guys can call in. Y'all let me know what's on y'all mind. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. I almost missed this. It was our last live stream. We were talking about how, oh, come on, don't do that. We were talking about how Trump was probably going to send the National Guard to Chicago pretty much to assist with the deportations. That was my prediction. All right, remember that? That was my prediction. Turns out that's pretty much true. So everybody knows, and like I said, everybody knew that Trump was sending the National Guard out to assist ICE with the deportations. And here goes Brandon Johnson again. And I told you guys, all it is, I'm here to protect Chicago and to protect black people. Brandon Johnson, again, is now signing protective orders specifically for illegal immigrants in Chicago. That's who he's looking out for. Okay, this is a long video, and we might have to talk about this a little bit later.
Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. Let me start by saying this. I do not take this executive action lightly. I would have preferred to work in a more collaborative approach. I would have preferred to do the work with our allies in City Council to pass legislation ultimately. And we were doing that. We were doing just that. But some of the leaders who we are working with are standing behind me today. But unfortunately, we do not have the luxury of time. We have received credible reports that we have days, not weeks, before our city sees some type of militarized activity by the federal government. It is unclear at this time what that will look like exactly. We may see militarized immigration enforcement. We may also see National Guard troops. We may even see active duty military and armed vehicles in our streets. We have not called for this. Our people have not asked for this. But nevertheless, we find ourselves having to respond to this. Let me be absolutely clear. Although we believe the reports we have received are highly credible, this is an erratic, impulsive administration, and it's not always possible to understand and know exactly how he will move. He could change his mind. He could reverse course. In fact, I encourage him to do that. Still.
Okay. So let me tell y'all something, and we can get to the callers. Actually, we're going to get to the callers right now. So the number, let me put the number up on the screen. So the number on the screen for you guys to call in, hold on, is right here. So the number is 949-381-0044. That is 949-381-0044. My brothers and sisters, y'all call in. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me be honest with you. Okay, let me get to the super chat real quick. As a black Chicagoan man, we don't like this dude, especially the young people. We don't. We know. And let's be honest. His stance on immigration is the same. It's the same. Nothing's different. That the whatever he's signing is all he's already put as much protection on illegal immigrants as he possibly could. There's nothing more he could do to protect them. Right now, he's literally trying to figure out some way he can try to stop Trump and make it seem like he's letting it be abundantly known that he supports illegal immigrants 110%. 110%. And this is why when they was talking about, well, yeah, we need more collaboration and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, collaboration. If I was the president, I wouldn't be collaborating with Brandon Johnson. He's not even worth talking to. I've tried on multiple occasions to talk to him. Believe me, I've tried. I've stomached a lot of pride and I shook his hand, tried to talk to him. He's beyond speaking to. He's beyond cooperation. He's beyond that. All right, you just got to move. There's no negotiating with him. Like they said, you can't negotiate with a terrorist. There's no negotiating. There's none. So, hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. Anything to stop his damn tirade of illegal immigrants, please do that. Let's get this stuff over with. Let me get to the callers. So first off, hold on. Let me make sure. Okay. Caller from area code 304. You are on live. How you doing, Miss Nisi?
I'm doing fine, Afro. Hello, family in the chat. This month has been a whirlwind, but I believe the Most High has granted his people, FBA, to witness all of the chicanery. I'm going to edit myself because I don't want to mess up your lives. I want to say personally to you, Afro, you are the epitome, representation of your FBA family. And I am absolutely proud of you, my young warrior. I'm getting emotional. I see you as my son because you are my son. I may not be your birth mother, but I am a mother figure. God bless you, Afro. I pray for you and all new Black media content creators. God bless you, baby.
God bless you too. Thank you so very much. I love you. Thank you. All right. Somebody in the chat room, they tripping in chat room saying, Afro, you voted for this. I don't know who told. There's this thing, man, that I guess haters are saying I voted for. Okay. I want y'all to understand there's trolls in the chat room. There's trolls in the chat room. Trolls in the chat room. I did not vote for Brandon Johnson. Okay. I was speaking against Brandon Johnson when he was running. I was all like, nah, Brandon ain't it. I didn't know he was gonna be that bad, but he was, man. I didn't know he was gonna be that bad, but I knew he was gonna be a problem. Okay. Let's get to caller from area code 412. That's our beloved sister, Miss Nisi.
Hi, Afro.
Hey,
how are you? Hi, Afro. I'm doing wonderful. I'm enjoying your broadcast. Salute to you, my brother. I just wanted to point out you are correct. I truly don't think this is for us out with what he's doing. I think it's to grab up a lot of mass deportation. I think they threw a face on it. As for us, I know we got to stand out no matter what city we in. We got to refrain from that because we are so emotional. We definitely are. So I think, we can't get our young ones riled up about them coming in for our young ones to retaliate, and then they'll be the face of what he's doing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have to do that. Not only that, I wanted to mention too, there is a lady on YouTube, and we have to be careful with her. She is she is Foundational Black America, but I've been following this chick since last year about calling us FBA cult. Now she's claiming she's FBA. I wish I can say her name. You may know who she is. She was calling us a cult last year. She said that FBA is a cult. Now she's calling herself a FBA because Kamala lost. Oh, she's clicked in with the Democratic Shield. You'll see her. She's a light-skinned lady, dreadlocks with glasses. Now she's claiming she's FBA. She couldn't stand Tyreek. Now she's claiming a word he created under her banner. So we have to watch out because I want to make sure that they're not trying to use the FBA name to bring FBA people back to the Democratic Party. You may know who she is. Please watch out for her channel. She got a big mouth, light-skinned lady, glasses. You know who she is. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to speak her name, but you know who she is. So we got to watch her because she did two YouTube channels, and they post on Twitter about her because she has something to say about Amanda Seals. But now she's claiming it's like, wait a minute, sis, last year, because when I posted something, you calling us a cult, now I'm saying you FBA this year? Nah, something ain't right in that water. We got to be careful with her.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you for keeping us.
Thank you, dear. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay,
thank you.
bye-bye.
All right. Yeah, you have a good one. Let's be honest. It's going to be a lot of trickery because we're towards the end of 2025. 2026 is going to be the midterms. That's going to be a big deal for a lot of people. So what that means is that you're going to see a lot of people start to use our verbiage, the grassroots verbiage. So a lot of people who are calling us a cult, calling us divisive, calling us xenophobic, a lot of people are going to all of a sudden have this new awakening all of a sudden, and then they're going to start sounding like us. They're going to start delineating. They're going to start criticizing, quote unquote, the Democratic Party. They're going to start saying a lot of that. All right. But then there's always going to be an agenda. They're always going to try to shift the conversation a certain way. All right. And we talked about that this month too. There's a lot of fake activists now. So we got to be careful with that. We got to be very careful. All right. So let's get to the next caller. Caller from area code 708. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, peace, brother. This is Family Building Warrior, aka Brother Shango from Chicago. Definitely appreciate you, big dog, because you're one of the voices out here, man, from the city that's really holding it down. And it's a good thing to hear. A lot of the brothers who are on the street, we tap in, or, you know, working brothers and shit like that. Let me stop swearing, my bad. People, you know, just regular everyday people, man. We definitely rock with you and all the FBA stuff. We're telling the elders, we getting a lot of the elders on board. I just had a little get together. My granddaddy, 87 years old, FBA, he 100% full stop with us. So this movement, this lineage movement, man, it's powerful, it's beautiful, and I love it. And I do appreciate you, brother. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's that Chicago love. Appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Appreciate that. Let me get to the super chat from, let me see how to pronounce your name correctly. From Estella, our beloved sister Estella. She says, Afro Elite, keep speaking the truth. I definitely will. I thank you for your support. Thank you so very much. Appreciate that. Thank you so very much. All right. Also, the other caller before, she was all like, as far as the National Guard and stuff like that, listen, we got to learn, and I'm so glad we got to learn when it's our fight, when it's something we should be involved in, and when it's not. This whole National Guard, them coming in to bring ICE and all of that stuff, that's got nothing to do with us. That is not our fault. Okay? To be very honest with you, they're getting rid of a problem that's already in our community. So we should just step back. Okay? As foundational Black Americans, we need to step back and mind our business. That's all we need to just mind our business. All right. Now, of course, we got to be careful because we know police, especially Chicago police, they like to antagonize folk and start an incident. So yeah, we got to be careful and watch out for all that. But as far as all of this stuff with ICE and all that stuff, we not panicking. They've been saying all year long we was gonna get deported, and that ain't happened not one time. So they know they're trying to get us to be on the front lines, and we out the way, and that's good. So that's what we got to keep doing, staying out the way and minding our business. All right, caller from area code 86862. You're on live.
Peace. What's up, Afro Lee? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I just want to add some clarity to a lot of things that's really going on, like as far as us as FBA. Now, I don't identify as an FBA because I'm what you call a true American. I'm an Atanchan. I'm an American Aborigine. My people was Yamasee, right? Aniyawiya, and Creek, okay? And these was Negroes who was already in America. So like even with the addressment of what FBA. Now I done heard you talk about Louisiana, right? But there's other human remains that was found here. You got Naya that was found in the Yucatan. Now the Yucatan was part of Florida, right? It was part of Florida. When you look at all of these tribes, all the way from the Micmac, all the way down to the Gullah Coast, which is the Gullah, which is the Timacoans and the Yamasees and the Seminole, all of them are the same tribes. And these are all Negroes who've been in America. They ain't come here on no slave ship. These people was already here. We was already here, brother.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And even the word slave come from the word Slav. You understand what I'm saying? So when you get into even the terminology, see, we just raise our hand because that's what the Europeans taught us that we would say. But the Europeans were slaves. Okay? They were slaves. When you look at who ran Europe in the 1500s. Moors ran Europe in the 1500s. Black people. Well, no white people running Europe in the 1400s. You understand what I'm saying? So the war was between, you want to call us black, Negro, colored, that was already in America against the Negroes or Moors that was in Europe.
Okay.
The wars was between us. So even the 13 colonies was ran by 5 black kings. Now, these 13 colonies had to get permission from the Mama Namatop. That means chiefs of chiefs. They didn't just come here like these stories where they tell you, oh, yeah, everybody just came to it. That's BS. You could not come across that Atlantic Ocean like that, my brother, because we had ships. We are the original Marines. When they tell you...
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead. Yeah, go
okay.
ahead.
Now, as far as being foundational Black American, I'm not going to sit up there and make you something that you don't want to be. But let's be honest. When I say it, I'm talking about a lineage of people who are here, who are foundational to America. Now, if you were black and you are already here, or Negro, whatever you want to call it, and already here, you would still be a foundational Black American.
Yeah, I don't.
So it's not all about the slave trade, but just the. But my question is this. My question is this though.
No, go ahead.
You are acknowledging that slavery happened, that there was a chattel slavery in this country, right?
Not to us. Not to us. Not to us. Not it ain't happened.
Okay.
Okay.
White,
300,000.
Hold on. Let me. Okay. So you're saying that didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. Not the story that they told. That story came after Reconstruction.
Okay, so there was So there was no slavery here.
The slavery
or who were the
white people.
The slaves were white people
that was brought here by yes. The word look up. See, nobody ever looked up the word slave. Nobody never looked at the definition. We just agreed and acquiesced to what Europeans told us. Europeans were slaves. More than 300,000 Europeans was brought here into the 13 colonies. Now, even if you look at slaveboys.org, right, they tell you it was 200,000 Africans brought to North America, which every year that number gets shorter and shorter. Now, when you go on slaveboys.org, the number is 48,000, bro. The whole Glory Island thing is a lie. When they tell you that they brought 21 million so-called Africans.
Okay, let me ask you this question then. Let me ask you this question because we all acknowledge that slavery, and I just want to make sure we get to this because, to respect the time of other people's callers, but just so we can clear things up, who, if you're saying Europeans were enslaved, who were the slave masters in this country?
Us. And I'm not saying every black person, right? I'm not saying every black person owned slave, but the majority of the black slave owners was black people, bro. I got a whole book. Hold on.
So you're saying that Negroes, owned European slaves in this country?
Yes.
Okay. Brother. Okay. Because the thing is that now it seems as if now we're doing too much and we're getting to, do you know where the word slave comes from? So apparently the story of like Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, none of that stuff ever happened, right?
Nat Turner was paid by like you, all right, the nicer KK, a nicer Golden Circle and the KKK, right? They pay him to go into Virginia. The majority of the black slave owners was in Virginia, Maryland, South Carolina, and Louisiana. We talk about hundreds of thousands of black slave owners, my brother.
Okay, brother, listen. Okay, if that's the case, watch this, y'all. Watch this. If that's the case, how did it flip? How did we become, if we were the slave, hold on, brother, hold on.
Okay.
If we were the slave masters and they were the slaves, if they were coming over here as slaves and they were working the plantations and building America, how did it flip to where the Negroes who were the slave masters are now subjugated and the slaves have now taken over control of the whole country, and now they're the ones who run a system of a racial hierarchy over their former slave masters. How explain to me, and I've let you talk for a reason. Explain to me how that flipped. If what you call the Negroes, black people, we weren't the slaves, we were the slave masters. How did it flip between that and then now Jim Crow, and now we drinking out of a colored water fountain, and now we got black codes and convict leasing? How did that flip? How did that happen?
Okay, so let me explain this. All right, so boom. So the Civil War was the free white slaves. It wasn't the free black slaves. I know that's what they tell us, but it was a free white slaves. After 1865, a lot of them white slaves started to form a lot of these militia groups, like the KKK. So when you start seeing from 1865 all the way into the I want to say until after Brown versus Board and when the Civil Rights Act started, right? So from 1865, when you get these militia groups are going into black towns that have been established for hundreds of years. We don't know how long they've been established, right? But they going into them towns and burning our towns down and displacing a lot of our people. Now, a lot of our people fought against the slaves, against the ones that was free, right? So then when you get to the 1900s, right? You get to the 1900s, right? So what happened was, so the government that they formed around us, right? Which the United States been existed, you know, that goes back into the Great Law of Peace, right? All of that, the Constitution, all comes from the Great Law of Peace. And that's written documentation that we had, the Continental Congress, and all of this stuff, right? So what happened was this, right? You had government agents that used to go around the black towns, right? Telling black people or telling the Aborigines or the Indians or whatever you want to call them that they can protect them. Now, some people took their protection, right? But understand what happened. With the form of their protection, now you are under their jurisdiction, because what they would do is they will issue a deed for your land. Now, unbeknown to you, they're taxing you behind the scenes. So now they will come back maybe a year later and tell you, oh yeah, well, since we provided you with enforcement, you have to pay taxes, and this is how much money you owe. Now, this is not what was communicated to our people at first, right? So after they come in and you can't pay it, guess what happens? They'll take the land. Now, with the fact that they're running in towns, they're flooding towns,
Okay, brother. Thank you. Thank you for educating us.
Okay.
All right. I mean, that's enough of that. Okay, we got to understand. I don't know if this person is actually from our lineage, let's be honest, and we got to watch out for that, because he'll go in another live and he'll say some things like, oh, we don't understand our true history. And there's a lot of people who don't understand the misinformation and the deceit.
Let me tell you who I am real quick. Let me tell you who I am.
Hold on, no, that's enough. That's enough, brother.
I want to tell you where you can find my information at.
No. Yeah, had to hang up. That's enough. Now, what I asked him was I let him speak. I asked him this. Okay, how did it flip? Because this is something that we're hearing that, oh, actually, we own slaves and all that stuff. Okay, how did it flip between black people owning European slaves, okay, to now Jim Crow right after slavery, convict leasing right after slavery, black laws right after slavery? How did all of that stuff happen? Okay, tell me exactly how that stuff happened then. Okay, now he's bringing up dates. We have documentations and photographs, okay, that still exist today of that time. Okay, we have actual people who actually were slaves, who gave their documentation, who are on video talking about what slavery was like. This last slave didn't die until I think it was like the if I'm not mistaken, 70s. The last actual documented slave didn't die until the 1970s. All of this stuff is very well documented. This is a lot of revisionist history that you're getting. This is a lot of prison babble that you're getting. This is a lot of stuff that you're getting. All of this stuff. Now, what's interesting is that he'll go in the room and he'll be all like, actually, we were the real slaves and we were, or the real slave masters and stuff like that. Ain't none of that stuff true. We have too much documentation about what happened in Spain with the Moors. We have documentation about what happened over here during slavery, who were the slave owners. Now, what's interesting is that he'll go on, and I don't think he's from this lineage, because he'll go on and he'll say this, because this completely flips the situation. Because if we were the slave owners, how are we supposed to get reparations? If we were the slave owners and they just tricked us into the Ku Klux Klan ran a great protection racket, okay, even though the Ku Klux Klan clearly has their documentation on white supremacy, all of this stuff is documented. If he's going to say this stuff and he's going to confuse a lot of people, so you got to be very careful with stuff like that. You got to be very careful with agents like that. Anybody who comes up the first time, he was all like, you know what, I don't like to be FBA. I don't like to be identified as FBA. Watch out for a lot of the people who are going to start coming up who don't like the term black. To be honest, at this point in time, in 2025, anybody who doesn't like the term black, I'm going to be honest, to me, this is me, needs to be, I'm not taking anything you have to say that serious. I'm going to be very honest. I know that might seem like, Afro, what? If you don't like to be called black, if you feel like, no, black is dead and we need to, I don't have time for that. Because that means you're going to go down this rabbit hole of conspiracies that you developed when you were in solitary confinement in prison. I don't got time for that. I don't got time for, yo, I was talking to myself in the mirror and I came up with a great idea. I don't have time for that. I really don't. And nor do we. Because now you're going to try to convince us and try to miseducate. No, man, no. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm not saying that you can't claim to be Aboriginal or anything like that. I believe that there were black people who were already here before Columbus and all that stuff. I've shown documentation on that. But as of right now, we're a lineage. The lineage is of black people. If you don't like the word black, if you say, no, we're not black, with all right, okay. You need to be someplace else then. Because 9 times out of 10, you're trying to go down a path that we're not trying to go down. Honestly. All right. Caller from area code 267. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing, Afro? This is Curtis.
Curtis, brother. What's on your mind, brother? How you doing?
All right, man. Great show as usual, man. I just, man, that guy is crazy, man. He's talking about the black people, old slaves in America. What are we coming to, man? Wow, man. Yeah, I really got too much to say, man. Like I said, man, just keep up, the good work, young brother. You understand? We're so happy over here in Philadelphia, man. You got me as a fan, brother. You understand? And I just want you, speak the truth to power, man. That's all, man. That's all you have to do, man. Speak truth to power, young brother. And I'm praying for you, okay?
Yes, thank you, brother. Thank you for your support, brother. Yes, indeed.
Okay, you have a good day, okay?
You too.
All right, bye.
All right, bye. Another thing that they do is that you'll have agents like him, the caller who just called in. You'll have agents like him who are trying to make us seem like a bunch of delusional conspiracy theorists. We got to be careful of that. Okay? When they come up with all, it's not even what he's saying is so divorced from reality. It's so delusional, yet he'll say something and then you'll have Tethers be all like, you see, that's what the FBAs think. The FBAs think that slavery didn't exist. The FBAs think that that they were the slave masters. A lot. That's why I suspect that person of being an agent, because a lot of that is to make the whole movement look like we're a bunch of conspiracy theorists who have no touch to reality, who have no proof of anything like that. Okay? Let's be honest. So we got to be very careful with that, because it will be folks like him who try to make what we're saying seem delusional and crazy and conspiratorial. All right. And it's not true. Everything we're saying is backed up with history, with science, even with documentation. We're very thorough. Let's get to caller from I was about to say episode. Caller from area code 303. Caller from area code 303. 313. My bad. 313. 313.
Okay, that's me. That's me.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
up, y'all? This is FBA Portis over here in Detroit. Yeah, I just want to piggyback off what you said, man. We got to know how to mind our business, man. Let the federal government come in Chicago, get rid of the people they supposed to be getting rid of. I also want to hit on how proud I am of black women and black people in general with this boycott, and how we going into September with this new boycott on the beauty shops. You know, we buying black still all September. The black women with the black hair. You know, we just showing them how we do it, man. These 30 days is about to prove to the FBA family, lineage, however you want to describe it in this moment, how important black bills are and how important that black dollar circulating within our community is. Let's do it, y'all. We standing up, man. And I'm over here in Detroit. You need me to drive on down to Chicago, I got you, man. Be one first, man. I love y'all.
Love you too, brother. Appreciate that. Much respect, brother. Just we gotta love our family, right? And special salute, let's be honest, a special salute to the sisters, because the braiding shop thing, that was really their thing, you know. So they really held it down as far as that's concerned. You know, so that was we gotta give them their props, we gotta give them their kudos on that. They really held it down. And now we got another one, and I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit more detail tomorrow. But we got another one coming up about just black owned, FBA owned. Let me say that, you know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to keep the dollar circulating. We got an FBA kind of like a boycott kind of buy-in. So we're boycotting non FBA hair care products, and then we're trying to really buy in and take that money in and put that money someplace else. See, that was my whole thing when it came to the Target boycott. Now, I'm not a supporter of the DEI thing, but with the Target boycott, what I disagreed with is that they were all like, let's stop shopping at Target because Target's not black owned and they don't support black people. And now let's start taking our money and shop at Costco. And I'm like, Costco's not black owned either. If we want to boycott Target, I'm with it, but let's boycott Target and then let's put our money in the black community. Costco doesn't put any money in the black community. Costco's not doing that. So why are we putting our money into Costco? That was my only thing. If we want to take our money away from something, good, but now let's utilize the money that we're sparing from that company or that business, and now let's put that money where it should be. That was my criticism with the Target boycott in the beginning, because y'all was saying let's just support any company that supports DEI. That, and I wasn't behind that. But if we're talking about, hey, let's boycott, there's a lot of brands that sell quote unquote black hair products or whatever the case is, not black owned, and now we get to take that and now we get to put that money where it belongs. Much better. I like that energy. Okay, see, now we're starting to really get it. I like that. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So thank you. That's a good idea. That's good. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you, brother. All right. Glad he brought that up. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more tomorrow, but that's the type of energy we need to be on. All right. Shout out to him. Shout out to the sisters out there, because y'all really held it down for the month of August as far as the boycott is concerned. So now we're going into another one. So let's just keep the momentum going. Caller from area code 571. You're on live. What's your name and where you calling from?
Yo, what it do, Afro Elite? This your boy Breeze Omega. I appreciate you so much. You know, when I first met you at the first rally for reparations, I told you it was gonna be big. And when you was doing you was doing the security detail for Tariq and them. So I always knew. I was like, shit, my boy gonna be good. And then when I saw you at the second rally for reparations, you killed it when you was on stage. You and Black Alpha. So shout out to y'all brothers. That last caller a little bit ago, that was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what the hell was he talking about? But you held. I told you got the goddamn patience of a saint. So you definitely a sage in this. So we appreciate you, good brother Afro Elite. Like I said, this Breeze Omega, and like I said, I always knew you was gonna be at this level when I first met you. So it's a good thing, and I appreciate you out here. And I'm gonna land my plane right there, my good brother. Peace to everybody in the chat. Love y'all. Support the FBA family. Make sure y'all donate to the Hidden History Museum. And you know what it is. Peace, love, and reparations. And we out.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Let's get to, we got a super chat. Let me get to the super chat. There's a question in the super chat. Okay. Family, let me see. Family Building Warrior. Cool name. Says, when you do panels on your other channel, it says, do you use Twitter Spaces? I'm trying to pull up to one. No, I haven't used Twitter Spaces for the panel. I actually use TikTok. We go live on TikTok on the panels. So yeah, a lot of people have been asking me to do a Twitter Space. I really just got to set some time up for that, you know, just because I know there's some people who don't use TikTok. And I know there's some people who really want to engage in a conversation, but they use Twitter. So I want to be fair to everybody. So at least a couple of times coming up in September, we're going to be having some Twitter Spaces. Because I you know, we really came up. We did a lot on Twitter, and we got a strong Twitter base too. I got a strong Twitter base. I just kind of, you know, Elon Musk and a lot of his algorithms kind of threw it off. But I really got to tap into the Twitter family to show my love and support. So we're definitely going to do that. If you're on Twitter, you know, stay on there. Be looking forward to that. So we're going to do that. But, you know, we kind of already got a good formula going on the TikTok thing. So we're not going to stop that. We're probably just going to add a little bit more to it. You know, we're going to do that. So be looking forward to that. Caller from area code 317. You're on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, how you doing today? This is Gary from Indiana. Yeah, that last dude, he was a trip. He's an example of what happens when you give these like Hotep plebiscite Babylon Foods that just got out book that they haven't finished read nor can they comprehend. Okay, and this is also an example to you youngsters: stay in school. Now, one thing about the new black media is you guys are very, very on point. And the reason why I say this is because, man, they mess with y'all's broadcast left and right. Like, your broadcast is louder on my phone than it is on my television. And I notice that they do this to a lot of other people that I have to adjust the volume to where it's just really low. And then when it's them folks and it's one of their broadcasts, it comes in nice and crisp, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But y'all keep doing what y'all doing and stay on point. And like I said, you youngsters, y'all stay in school and y'all keep listening to the black media. Now, speaking of media, what I also noticed is I'm seeing a lot of TV shows and commercials of light-skinned chicks with white dudes. And it's like what they're trying to do, it seems like that they're, you know, to each his own. You like who you like, you know. But it's like now there's some type of agenda out there that is just complacing black women with white men, or if they show black men, it's with a woman that is not black. You know, and really what I think that is an agenda to split us up. And I just wanted to, you know, get your insight on that. And
yeah,
that's all I had to say, man. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you. A lot of that is, and thank you for your question. A lot of that is us about, it's kind of like because let's be honest, we don't have to sugarcoat anything. the Caucasian, the white race and all that stuff dying out. All right. This has already been established. This has already been reported that their birth rates are at a 0. Okay. So even though this country is majority Caucasian, most of them are older in age. The younger white people are not having children like that, not in the rate that they would need to kind of keep the race going. Okay. Joe Biden was talking about that. Jasmine Crocker's been talking about that. You've had a whole bunch of people. They've already admitted to this. So they need, because let's be honest, scientifically, they're recessive. Dr. Francis Cress Wilson was telling us about this. We have the dominant gene. So they need the dominant gene because genetically they can just be bred out of existence. So they need the dominant gene to kind of increase the longevity of their presence on this planet. So they're trying to do that in a way where they can still maintain this racial hierarchy, but they got to add in a little bit of black DNA. So it's like they have to shift whiteness a little bit. They got to compromise a little bit, all right, to it. So that's why you don't see as many people, as many of them who are so opposed to interracial relationships. What they like to do is they like to now promote the interracial relationships of a white male and a black female. If you're noticing that the interracial relationships that they promote, they don't like to really promote the black male and the white female. No, they don't really like that because they still want to have control of the population. They still want to have the control of it. And they look at a black male and a white female as the black male being in control. So they like to promote, if you're noticing a lot of movies, a lot of commercials, a lot of TV shows, there's a white male and a black female. You don't really see that being promoted the other way around because this is their way of kind of controlling the next breed of whiteness. That's kind of like their thing. It's kind of like a sick thing, but it does go into the science of that. All right. Because they've already admitted that this is what they need to do to extend their longevity in this planet. And they understand if you are sexually in a relationship, if you're in a sexual relationship with a person, you're kind of compromised. So you're not going to sit up there and battle white supremacy. You're not going to battle for reparations and all of this stuff if you're going home to a white person or even a non-black person. You're not going to have black people be your priority if who you're in a relationship with, who you're in a marriage with, who you have a child with is non-black. So it compromises you in that way. So to them, it works in their favor to do that and to push that. And it also works to push the narrative that we live in this race blind society. It works to push the narrative that we live in this post-racial society. If you're seeing a white man and a black woman and all of that stuff, it pushes the narrative that we're in a racially unified society. Okay. So to them, it's very advantageous for them to push that. Okay. And notice the ones that they push is with white males and then black females. Look at what that woman was, Ketanji Brown Jackson. She's with a white husband. It's a lot of black women in Congress. Now, let's be honest, some of them, a lot of them non-FBA, but they like to push that. And then notice who gets elevated. They elevated Ketanji Brown Jackson. She was selected by Biden because he knows, like, okay, if you got a white husband, all of that going to the black people stuff is that's over with. All of that helping out black people, because he sees, okay, your husband, this is a reflection of your value, so I can already tell where your allegiance lies. So it's a safe pick for them. Okay. Just to be brief, but that is a good question. Caller from area code 516. You're on live. What's your name and where you calling from?
What's up, is Adam from Queens?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Adam from Queens.
What's on your mind, Adam?
Yeah, so I was listening. He said that you mentioned he used to work security for Tyreek. And now that like my question I was going to ask you kind of makes sense because you were doing this program and it was something about lineage. And you was basically saying how somebody who's not fully black has so much to say about X, Y, and Z. And I was like, you know what, I agree. However, when I put in the chat, but Tyreek's wife is half white and he went back on Vlad, you blocked me. So then I was like, well, did anything I say was a lie? So
Wait, hold on.
I was like,
saying,
you know what,
hold
I'm
on.
gonna
Let
wait
me
to
let me
speak
ask
to this brother.
you were blocked in my chat room or you were blocked in Tariq's chat room?
No, sir. I was watching the program you had, and it was about lineage. And then when I had put that in the chat, not to be, but I just wanted to clarify because we don't pick and choose. So I'm like, well, if that's the case, I just want to be fair. You know what I mean? Like that's how I am, right down the middle. Tyreek has a half white wife, and he went back on Vlad TV. I got blocked because of that, and that ain't nothing I said was wrong. I didn't lie, so I just wanted to know. I said I'll wait till he has an open mic so I can ask him.
Okay. What was the point? Do you have a question about that? What is the point of you even bringing that up?
Yeah,
because
but
a
my
lot of that
question
is
is
seems
why
as
would
if
I?
you're trying to diss Tariq. So I mean, my chat room,
No.
I don't recall your comment. So if you were blocked, you were blocked by my mods, and they don't, tolerate that. So let me ask you: now that you're waiting for the open mic, you are on the open mic. What was your point of bringing that up?
My point of bringing that up was, do we pick and choose? Because, like, I used to listen to, like, I agree with a lot of what Tyreek says. And, but there's certain things that he does that I don't agree with. And there's certain things that he says that's contradictory and sometimes hypocritical. So when I said that in the chat and then I got blocked, that's when I was like, yo, you know what, let me call this dude because I don't understand what's going on with our community. If our community is supposed to be straight down the middle, let's be straight down the middle with everybody. I don't care what you're doing from here. That if we're gonna be straight down the middle, let's be straight down the middle, brother. That's all I wanted to know. Why would I be blocked for telling the truth?
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Is that it seems as if, and the reason why you probably were, now I didn't know of this. Nobody told me of this. So this is probably something that the mods did. I'm not even sure which mod did it. But the thing is that Tariq also has an open platform. And Tariq's platform is open almost on a daily basis. So you can go and if you have a question about Tariq and Tariq's wife, I don't speak on other people's marriages like that. If you have a question about Tariq or Tariq's wife or him going on Vlad or anything like that, you could have called Tariq and asked him. It seemed as if to me and then to the mods is like you're going over here. So it's like a sneak dissing thing, that you're doing. So that's probably why the mods blocked you. Now I'm just finding out about this today. But you could have went to Tariq and asked him about that, and you could have got that squared up. But let me ask you this: so since you're here now, and the whole thing, a lot of people talking about Tariq's wife and stuff like that. What is his wife's lineage? His wife is not FBA, according to you.
To me, I'm not, to be honest with you. I know that she's half black. I don't know exactly where her father is from. I know that if you black, to me, what the FBA is like, for me, I'm Dominican and I'm black. But if I don't speak to you, and I don't, you wouldn't be able to tell that I'm Dominican. So my experience in this country has been, predominantly black. I grew up, my father, I didn't grow up with my father's side of the family. I grew up with my mom's side of the family. We're black. So if my figuration is if we share this lineage and we here and our generations have been here and you grow up here, yes, you're FBA. But the conversation that we were having that day, I think was believed that this man was from Canada, talking about he was FBA. Like, nah, bro, you from Canada, and you just because your parents was born here, you don't have the same experience.
Who is from Canada? Now you're saying something about somebody being from Canada. Who is from Canada?
Yeah, it was somebody in the chat was talking about you mentioned somebody being not from the States and explaining to them, well, if you're not from the States and you still have parents here, or your mom may have been here, your dad may have been here, it necessarily does not make you FBA because you did not have the experience that a black person would have growing up in America. And I agreed with that. I was 100% with that. So as far as Tyreek's wife, I don't know. I'm just saying I do know that she's half white, and I always hear we always bash the mulattoes and X, Y, and Z. So I was just trying to get clarification, like what's Afro's, what's his game here?
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now. So the chat room is informing me on the situation. I know what you're talking about. Okay, I will say, let's be honest. I'm not going to speak on Tariq's wife. That's his wife. That's his business to speak on.
Mm-hmm.
So that is that. But I am going to say when it comes to the conversation of people who have mixed lineage, that happens. There's a lot of FBAs who have non-FBA lineage to them. That's fine. We've been here for a very, very long time. So we are going to have there are some non-FBA admixture in our lineage. And it happens. It's a natural thing. We're millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people, and we've been here for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. So yeah, you're gonna have some admixture in there. I mean, that doesn't strip you away from your lineage. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't take your lineage away. You know, you're still FBA. She's still FBA. You know what I'm saying? We consider Malcolm X to be FBA. We consider Frederick Douglass, who was also half white, to be FBA. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you have a strong enough tie, which is one solid parent, your mother or your father, to the lineage, you're still connected to the lineage. That's why Malcolm is still FBA. That's why I was about to say Marcus Garvey. That's why Frederick Douglass is still FBA. You know what I'm saying? So that is the way. I mean, it's a lineage. That's the way lineages work. You know, even if they're half, they still have a strong connection to the lineage. I think you're bringing up the situation, since you said Canada, you're bringing up the situation with Drake, right? Now you might have to ask.
I'll be honest with you, brother. I'm not sure who it was. I'll be honest. I thought it was a guess. I don't know if it was Drake.
No, because I remember that it's been going on Twitter. And you're going to have to ask Tariq about that, okay, for more clarification on that. Tariq is the one who made the statements. More clarification. But let me say something. Let me also add to the fact that, yes, you can have a lineage. We understand that your parent, your lineage extends. You inherit your lineage through your parent. As true as that is, also, your lineage can also be severed. Your lineage can also be disconnected. Okay. You know, the lineage is about being an American. That's what the lineage is about. So there can be people, if you do immigrate someplace else and you do live someplace else and you grow up someplace else under a different culture and under a different lineage and ethnic group, and you're pretty much a part of a different ethnic group, you do have a loose connection to the lineage. But when we classify you, you're more of that other thing than you are of this thing. You know what I'm saying? If I have, for instance, if I had apple juice and orange juice, and I put equal amounts of apple juice and orange juice, it's equal, it's half, it's 50-50, right? Now, if I had apple juice and orange juice, and I put, it's mostly apple juice, and I put like a few drops of orange juice in there, or I put maybe a quarter of orange juice in there, it's pretty much apple juice. It's got some orange juice in there, but yeah, it's still kind of apple juice, really. For the most part, it's majority apple juice. It's not fully, but it's majority. So this is what we're saying as far as the situation with Drake is concerned. Drake was born and raised in Canada and didn't come to America until he was an adult. He wasn't raised by his FBA father. So in this situation, his ties to the lineage is really distant. And I believe that's what Tariq was trying to elaborate. But you got to ask him for more clarification. All right.
Well, I just wanted to ask you this one last thing, brother, because I just wanted to be, like I said, I'm a fair person. And I honestly believe, and I know for a fact, because I watched Jason Black's some of his broadcasts, and I remember him bringing you up one time for some sus shit that he said that you did, and I'm just like, well, do you think that if you said all that shit that Tyreek said about Vlad, right, and then went back on his show, you don't think they'd be talking about you, dog?
You said you saw. Okay, let me. You saw Jason Black bring me up, and Jason Black said something about me. What did you say?
It was a long time ago. It was about Pearly thing, and that was a while ago. And he was like, this nigga's on my radar, and you just, I don't even think you did anything that bad, but just for the little bit you did, the black community has something to say about it. So that's what I'm saying. If we're gonna like do this thing as a black community, let's be a community. Let's be fair with each other. You know what I mean? So if you do something that they say is a little bit suspicious, and you're already on their feed, then I got every right to ask you, okay, well, how can we rock with a brother who said all these things? And let me tell you, I rode with Tyreek until he went back on Vlad, because I'm just a man of my word.
Okay.
I can't do that. That's very upsetting. Like, I don't know how it doesn't bother you. So when I hear brothers shouting him out, and it just makes me, my eyebrows raise a little bit, man.
Okay.
That's not the path
Well,
that
here's
we
the
should
thing.
be on. We should be on one
As a
path.
community, we should be a little bit more unified. That's the thing. We have to have a little bit more unification and being more on code. If you had a question, and I don't like Vlad at all. I don't watch none of his stuff. I don't like Vlad at all. But if you had a question about Tariq going on Vlad, number one, you didn't have to watch it, and then number two, you could have just went up to Tariq and expressed to Tariq or asked Tariq respectfully, because the thing is, a lot of people are like trying to look for I gotcha moment with Tariq. So if you're like, hey, Tariq, you could have went to Tariq and you could have just asked him that. But if you're saying something, about Tariq in the chat room, it's gonna give the energy that you're sneak dissing, and that's something that's off code. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to, you can do that, and you could just ask about let's clear anything
I
up.
agree with you. Let's say that that's sneak dissing, brother. Let's say that that's sneak dissing, and I agree with you. And that's off code. But going back on Vlad is not off code. See, this is what I'm saying. That's not a sneak diss. Like I said, let's be down the middle with everybody. I don't care if you got a podcast or not. This is what I'm trying to express to you. This is not, you should just, because I can ask Tyreek, like many people have, and the excuse that he gives will never be good enough for me. Ever. Ever. Like, you said what you said. You're supposed to be a man about your word and supposed to be for the black people. You don't go back on that show. I ain't shouting you out ever again. That's me. Just like you said in your opinion. Oh, that's just me. That's me.
Okay.
That's how I see it.
Okay.
I just wanted to get you a clarification of what was going on there, because when he mentioned that you used to work for Tyreek, I'm thinking like, maybe.
Hold on. No. I didn't used to work for Tariq. That's not what happened. Tariq has had events, and I volunteered. What he said is I volunteered at the first rally for reparations, which was true. I did volunteer along with other brothers and sisters at the first rally for reparations, but have I ever been on Tariq Nasheed's payroll? No, I do not work for Tariq. No. Have I been at his events, and have I helped and volunteered at his events? Yes, I have. I'm not gonna lie to you. Everybody knows that too. But to frame it as I work for Tariq is dishonest. That's just not. It's just not the case. And the thing is that this is a lineage. Let's be honest. It's a lineage. So people are going to do some things. If you don't like the fact that Tariq went on Vlad, he's not the leader. People are going to do some things that you might be all like, I wouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. People are going to do some things that you might be all like, well, well, I disagree. It's really not that big of a deal. But here's what I don't know if this is our first time talking or what you said in the chat room, but the thing is that because you have dual lineages, because one of your parents is Dominican and then one of your parents is FBA, according to you, the thing is that you probably have said something in the past, or you are probably maybe on Tariq's bad list or something like that, and you feel like there's a double standard when it comes to things that you can do in the leeway and the things that you can get away with, and you're trying to find a I gotcha moment for Tariq to say that the community is
sorry, bro. No, I'm sorry, man. That is not. I am B1 first. I always have been. So when I see somebody do something off code, I have the right to call him out because I stay on code. Okay. So when Tyreek does something that's off code, like go back on Vlad, I'm gonna call him on that. And that's not because whatever you think this psychology that I have is not that, bro. Like I told you, I'm straight down the middle. This is the first time we spoke in person. Now I watched some of your programs. Like I don't get to watch everybody, so I'm busy. But I watch pro-black programs. And yours is one of the channels that I watch. Jason Black's another channel that I watch. Tyreek was another channel that I watch. So if I see you do something off code, you best believe I'm gonna make another phone call and ask you about it. That's how I am. It's not that all that other psychology is out the window.
No, stop. Y'all listen. Tariq is my brother, okay? But I do not work for. I do not work for. Brother, stop. I do not work for.
Sir, I said you. I did not say Tariq. I said you, sir. So I said
if he does something off code, you gonna ask me about it. No, don't ask me about it. I'm not Tariq's spokesman. I don't work for Tariq. I don't represent Tariq.
We're talking about you, sir. Not Tyreek. We're talking about you. I said if I see you do something off code, I'm gonna ask you about it.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. If you see me do something off code, you can feel free to call me out.
Yes. So I don't hear that. That's how. But that's what it's supposed to be. That's being down the middle with everybody.
Yes, being down the middle.
I'm calling it out. I'm calling nobody else with.
Now you're saying this. I'm gonna be honest. There's some things that you've said, and we're gonna have to move on after this. But there's some things that you said that's been, even if we want to say it's messy, but it's been problematic. Now you're bringing up. First off, you first said something about Tariq's wife, okay? And Tariq is not here, nor is his wife here, and that's messy, brother. Okay. Then you brought up the situation with something about Jason Black or Pearly things, and then they kind of said, I don't recall Jason Black ever speaking about me in a negative light. If he said that, even if it was years ago, I don't recall that. You know, so like things like this is like messy. So it's like I'm putting together that there's some other issue going on. There's something that you don't want to really say that either is going on or
no, I just think that there's obviously for me from what you're saying, and I'm hearing what you're saying, there's a pecking order here. And me being the man with two balls between my legs, I'm gonna call shit for how I see it. I don't care how big you are. I don't care what podcast you got. And
no.
When I see
the thing is that if you want to call stuff out, no. If you want to call things out, that's fine. Because this is a lineage. There's no leader. There's no pecking order. There's none. This is a lineage of people. But there is a right way and a wrong way to do everything. I want you guys to. This is a learning thing, family. I want you to learn. There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. If there is something that I that you disagree with, you call me. If there's something that Jason Black does that you disagree with, you call him. If there's something that Tariq does,
you can't call him. You gotta
stop.
This is what I'm
if
talking
there's
about.
something, stop.
This is a pecking order, bro. Just say you scared, man. All you gotta do is just say you scared to call these niggas that be doing
now y'all see he's getting upset. Now let him speak. Do you see he's getting upset,
man? That is fine.
You see he's getting upset. Listen.
Because you're saying all these words just to say that you're scared, bro.
You see that? Now, I'm not being scared. I'm not scared of nothing. No.
Yeah, you're scared. Is that on proof? Is Tyreek going back on proof?
He's getting mad. He's mad. Bro,
yes, do you see that? You see that? You won't answer that question,
that's that
sir.
Dominican side. That's that Dominican side. Do y'all see? It only take a little bit. That's that Dominican side.
See, there you go.
That's that Dominican side. You see,
there you go.
Brother, chill.
The Dominicans. So what are you saying about Dominicans, bro? This is that ignorant shit.
It's a
because
joke.
You're scared. So
it's
you scared. You want to bring in other Dominican niggas because you're scared to say something about Tyreek.
Okay.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna have to hang up.
Yo, you a scary nigga, man.
Stop. You
scary nigga, bro.
Can't be doing that. Can't be doing that.
You scary, man.
Can't be doing that. If you talk about me being scared, how
All right,
are you
well, don't
gonna
talk about
call me?
Dominicans because you're
Stop.
scared, bro.
I'm scared, and you calling a man about another man's wife? You calling a man about another man's
No,
wife?
I'm talking about why you don't say shit.
No, I don't gotta
Don't
say
even
it. I
try to
don't have
be,
an issue
nigga.
with
You
his
talking
wife.
to a man
He got an
right
issue with
fucking
his
now.
wife.
I'm not afraid to say nothing. I'm not afraid to ask you nothing, but you're.
Do you see that? Do you see that? I let that play out for a good reason, y'all. I let that play out for a good reason because this is a lineage. This is not a group. This is not an organization. This is not a cult. This is not something where anybody is above criticism. Not me, not Jason, not Tariq, not you, not nobody. But there is a right and a wrong way to do things. If I did something or said something that you disagree with, you can call me. If Jason did something or said something that you can disagree with, you can call Jason. If Tariq did something or said something that you disagree with, you can call Tariq. If I did something that you disagree with, and next thing I know, you're going to Tariq about it, that's messy. I don't care what I did. If you're not going to call me and you're going to call Tariq or you're going to call Jason, that's messy. And you're not going to call me out on whatever quote unquote I did. That's sneak dissing. That's messy. Which is why I let him speak, because he's all like, no, brother, I just want us to I just want us to hold this standard to the community. I want us to hold this standard to the community. I'm like, no, it's something else. It's something deeper. Because if you were about holding a standard, you would have went to Tariq. You're coming to me because you want to sneak diss. So it's something deeper than that. And I just let him talk, and then he wound up crashing out. He crashed out. Okay. Talk about me being scared. No. You crashed out because your original intent wasn't to keep a standard in a community. Tariq has said or did something that pissed you off personally, and you want to outlet to sneak diss him, and you're not going to have one here. That's the thing. And now you're calling me because you're mad that your outlet to sneak diss him, it has been cut off. I don't even know what he said in the chat room, but it's probably a lot worse than what he said in the chat room. There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. If I want y'all to understand something, I'm not above reproach. If I did something that you guys disagree with, say that to me. Say that to me. But if I quote unquote did something or am doing something that you guys disagree with, and y'all calling everybody else about it, then I'm going to say, okay, well, it's probably something that you are too afraid to speak to me about. You're just sneak dissing. You're sneak dissing. All right. I knew he was going to crash out too. I knew it. And then notice he's trying to be messy. The whole, well, yeah, Jason Black dissed you. Jason Black ain't never, to my knowledge, Jason Black has never dissed me. You know what I'm saying? I work for Tariq. No, I don't. I don't work for Tariq like I'm his employee or something. No. What? Okay. Caller from area code 404. You're on live. What's your name and where you calling from?
Peace. My name is Spice, calling from Union City, Georgia. What's going on, Afro? Big up to you and how you handled that tether, that cat from the crash out party. I mean, the crash out posse.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny when they crash out. I just can't help but laugh. It's so funny. It's so funny because I'm all like, I knew it. I thought he was gonna hold out a little bit longer than that, though. To be honest, I thought he was gonna hold out a little bit longer than that. But yeah, it's funny.
Nah, you and Tariq, y'all have a very distinct meter to tell when these cats about to fold. You know what I mean? So I can appreciate that kind of patience, because a lot of us out here don't have that, man. We beat in, you know what I mean, hauled off and slapped one of these dudes, you know what I mean? But I just wanted to remind the family, first I want to thank you for all the work you're doing on the ground in there. Chicago, hands off for FBA Chicago, hands off FBA DC. Y'all know what to do. For the government, y'all listening, go ahead, get them tethers, and, you know what I'm saying, illegal aliens up out the paint. Bottom line, leave us alone. The other thing I wanted to say is, we have to really go back and do more homework on the COINTELPRO, because, you know, even with the last caller, you know what I'm saying, and plebiscite guy, you know, these are straight up ops. You know what I mean? People calling in trying to instigate beef, this he say, she say stuff. We here trying to stand on business. We ain't got time for that pettiness. You know what I mean? We got real issues to discuss. Now, I know that we, you know, falling back from all these other issues everybody want us to get involved in. But, you know, we got our own business to tend to. And we can't let anybody take us off that square. You know what I mean? So I appreciate that. In terms of like that young lady who was seen supposedly representing FBA and doing battle and talking to those tethers on that Jubilee stage, you know, I just want to remind the family, and y'all already know what it is. You know, the black grassroots media, y'all been spitting them facts and spitting that actual information for years already. So all of a sudden, she want to ride that wave, you know. So all she getting from me is just a side eye. Because last I remember, she was on some after 94 crime bill, just vote. You know what I'm saying? And then she was also on some, well, you know, if I'm ever in a relationship and I get, you know, assaulted, what have you, blah, 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 it'd be by a black man. So, you know, I don't forget, you know what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden people want to take the black independent grassroots black media talking points and try to jump on the wagon. But we all know that midterm election is coming up. So I'm kind of rubbing my chin, interested as to what kind of tactics this neo COINTELPRO activity is, because it ain't like it used to be in the days of the Panther cats try to join your organization on a physical level. You know what I mean? This internet thing, they got different tactics. So they're trying to take all your talking points, trying to force FBA to be an organization or some kind of situation that they can try to take down from the inside. And this one's the leader and that, you know, nah. My people, please stay strong. You know, once again, I won't keep you long. Afro salute to you for standing on business with that tether. Yep. And I knew he was going to crash out. You know what I'm saying? This dual allegiances, for those of y'all who got one FBA parent and one foreigner parent, y'all need to make that decision now, because it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. And if you're here and you was born and raised here, you got an FBA parent, then stand on business. Ain't no time for dual allegiances. You know what I'm saying? And then the last thing I'm going to drop is, we know you spoke on the minus birth rate situation for the Euro descendants. One of the things that I want us to think about is the power grab. You know, we need to stand in position of power, because we ain't the only ones discussing this information. You know what I'm saying? You got tethers of all nations. You know what I'm saying? If they also peep in that game, you know, who's going to step into the role and run this thing here? You see what I mean? Because they ain't but maybe 30 more years. You know what I'm saying? Before they're like a permanent minority. You know what I'm saying? Unable to reproduce. So, you know, who's going to be running what FBA is built? So we really got business to tend to. And, you know, that's it, man. I land my plane. Peace to you, brother.
Peace, brother. Thank you. All right. Yeah. I do have a schedule to keep, so we'll be on for maybe another about hour or so, because I do got a schedule to keep, and then I got to get ready for tomorrow's live stream. It's gonna be a lot. We gotta really go in tomorrow. So all of the callers, we've had some long callers, but we're not gonna be able to have no more 20-minute callers anymore. We ain't gonna be doing that no more. Okay, he was the last 20-minute something caller we're gonna have tonight. All right. Caller from area code 931. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Lake. I'm calling from Memphis. I just want to go into this real quick. I know you don't have a lot of time on your hands. There's a court case called The Heirs of Turner, Henry Turner. You can go to the archives, in the archives to find it. And it tells you there was 100 million, I mean, not 100 million, but 1 million square miles of mound building, above 1 million square miles of mound building in the North Americas. It's the heirs of Turner versus the United States of America. See, and it was the Moorish people. Moorish is just a term to say from Abraham, country of Abraham. Abraham and we are descendants of Abraham.
Your hold on, brother. Your phone. I don't know if you're on Bluetooth. Yeah, you kind of choppy a little bit, like it's going in and out. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are descendants of Abraham from the line of Isaac. And what happened in this, it tells you that 100 million, I mean not 100 million, but 1 million or more square miles of the United States belong to us. It's a Supreme Court case. The heirs of Turner versus the United States of America. When Noah divided up the lands, he told his children that if you take somebody's land, you're going to have to go under the curses. See, black people, we serve as an example of what happens when you go under the curses. Although we didn't take somebody's land, we went under for another reason. And it's not logical to get rid of your workforce. America's getting rid of its whole workforce so they can, take some seat and get work out of it. The reason why they're doing it is because our 400 years is up. And if they don't do this, they're going to see you go by things that they already know the truth. You might not, but they know. If they don't do this, they're going to go under the curses. And so they're trying to stage that off. You've seen some of the curses coming about. That's what happens when natural disasters happen like they've been happening. They just call it natural disasters or global warming, but we know that God runs.
Okay, brother, I'm gonna need you to really land the plane because you kind of it's choppy. The audio. I'm trying to listen to you, but the audio is real choppy.
Yeah. Lastly, I landed. The court case tells you that 1 million or more square miles of this land belong to us. They got to get off the land because Noah told them and told his sons, that if you take somebody's land, you're going to go underneath the curses. That's why. Have a good one.
Okay. Oh, he hung up. Okay. All right. We're just gonna get to the next caller then. All right then. Caller from area code 310. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Afro B1. FBA all day.
Thank you, brother. What's your name? Where are you calling from, brother?
Can you hear me? It sounds.
Yeah, I can hear you, brother. Whoa! Just hung up. Come on now, we ain't got to do that. But y'all, okay. Everybody calling up with they damn. It's a full moon tonight or something. I don't know what's going on. Caller from area code 912. You're on live. What's your name and where you calling from? We got a lot of callers on the line, so everybody got to get ready. Caller from area code 912.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay, we're gonna move on, ma'am. If you can't, ma'am.
Oh, no, this is Elizabeth White.
Okay, so this is caller from area code 912, right?
Yes, it's Elizabeth White, and I just want to say, I'm not FBA, but I have been listening to you for a long time. One of the things I want to say is that I understand that you have said that you want to destroy white dominance. Now, I can understand that if you want to destroy them, they're not going to let you.
Okay.
Because quite
are you white?
Well, Yes, yes, but I have also indigenous blood.
Sure.
But yes, but I have also. But I've been also I've been watching a lot of uh, a lot of documentaries about how you guys were treated,
Hmm.
and
What do
it
you
just
think
breaks
about
my heart.
reparations? What do you think about reparations?
Well, I'm not sure because I don't think y'all should have monetary reparations, but I think that you should be equal to the white society.
Well, monetary reparations would make us equal to white society. That's what that
No,
means.
no, no. It wouldn't make you equal. It would make you above.
No, it would make us equal because white people got paid for slavery. Black people were the only people who didn't make a dime off of slavery. Everybody else and their
Yes.
mama was making money off slavery except black people. So now
Well,
it's time for hold on. Now it's time for white people. It's time for black people to make some money off of the labor of our ancestors. Everybody else made money. So yeah, now if you say we should all be equal, I agree. I fully agree. So now it's time
but
to
but if there's 40 million of you,
Mhm.
and each one of you get $5 million, then you're going to have a whole lot more money.
Well, I mean, that's the
but
thing. I mean, at this point in time, it's just y'all let the debt build up. Y'all let it build
well,
up to that point.
no, don't blame me because
Well, I mean,
I'm not completely
you're against reparations. You're saying you're against reparations. If reparations were paid, we wouldn't have been in this situation, but reparations were never paid. And you said you watch a bunch of documentaries on how we were treated, right? So you should really
Yes.
agree that we should receive reparations.
Okay, now let's say that you were uh, uh, you had all the if you had all the power, how would you use it? I mean, would you use it against us? Because okay, I'm a descendant of the Spanish colonists,
Okay.
but I mean, like uh, I'm like on your side. I don't want y'all to. Y'all have
Well,
suffered
first off,
enough.
ma'am, when you called in and you said we want to destroy white people and all of that stuff, no, we just want justice. Don't you want justice too? Don't you want justice? Don't you want
Well,
the
but the
world to
thing
be
is,
better, right?
but I want y'all to be equal to the
Oh
white
yeah,
people.
exactly. And we didn't get paid. And y'all got paid. So if you believe in
No,
equality, ma'am, no, white people got paid, ma'am. Everybody got paid.
but I'm
Everybody
not
was benefited.
white.
You are among the community, ma'am. No, come on now. You want equality, but you don't want to admit the fact that you're among the community that got paid. Now it's time for my community to get paid, right?
But are you are you gonna be mean to us?
No, of course
Like
not.
I'm Hispanic.
No. We're not mean to you now. Why would we be mean to you when we give reparations? We would make reparations. We would take reparations and make the world a better place. Don't you want that? Don't you want us to do that?
Well, I would like for you to, if I could be assured that you're not gonna treat. I mean, I'm Hispanic, because I'm Spanish and indigenous.
Okay, ma'am, but
my
we are
kids
gonna have to. We are
white.
gonna have to, ma'am. For the sake of time, I am gonna have to move on. So I'm gonna let you just. What's your last thing, right? So now that you understand that reparations is real equality, reparations is the only fair thing to do. Do you now agree with monetary reparations?
Not monetary. I don't want y'all to be above the white. I want y'all to be equal.
Be above the white. You don't want us to be above the white. Okay, so you want us to be below
No,
you.
I want y'all to be equal.
Well, that's okay. Well, you're not saying that because reparations is the only fair thing to do, but you don't want to do that because you feel like you want to be in control of white. You want white people to be in control.
No, I want y'all to be equal. I want the black.
But you don't want to pay nobody equally. You don't want to pay nobody. How come we made you guys money and we don't get none of the money? That's not equality.
No, but you have to understand. I mean, like, I'm not completely white. I'm Hispanic. I'm only part white.
Okay.
Anyway, I want to tell you that it breaks my heart to see how badly y'all were treated. It really does.
Does it?
Oh yeah, I'm like I have even trouble sleeping.
I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry for you.
I just want y'all to be. I want y'all to be equal. I want the whites and the blacks to be equal.
Okay. Well, all right. All right then.
But thank you very. Thank you.
You're welcome. Woo, do y'all see that? Do y'all see that? This is them being very, very deceptive. Oh, I want everybody to be equal. I learned so much about Black history. You see, I cut straight through that when she was all like, do you want to be against us? Because she would go someplace and would be like, no, we don't. What do you think about reparations? Oh, well, I don't agree with monetary reparations. Oh, why not? Y'all made money. She talked about, I'm not fully white. I'm not fully white. Oh, ma'am, you white enough. Okay. You're part Spanish. Spain is in Europe, but okay. You're white enough. And Europe, everybody, pretty much everybody in the world, to be honest, benefited from slavery but us. If we're going to go there, everybody got something. Everybody got something from slavery but us. We the only people who ain't got nothing from slavery. Okay? But us getting paid because she is in fear. And I'm glad she said it. They're in fear that we're going to take the reparations and we're going to flip white supremacy. We're going to end it. Not flip it, end it. Okay? They're afraid. They're going to be like, man, if we're not in control, they're going to attack us. So they got this constant fear that if we get a little bit of power, we're going to overturn them. So they got this constant paranoia that they got to keep us subjugated so they don't be the oppressed. That's how they see it. And that's exactly what she just expressed. But don't listen to, oh, she's going to be very soft-spoken and all that. I just want us to be equal. I want us to be equal. Okay. But y'all don't know, get no money. Now, let's not do all that. Okay. That's not equality then, ma'am. All right. Let's get to the next caller. Caller from area code 424. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Afro Elite, what's up, man? It's
What's going
FBA
on?
Dynasty, man, out of LA, man. I've been listening, man, to a whole bunch of hypocrisy, man, and just asinine shit on this this YouTube, man, and it's unbelievable, bro. You had the Tether and the op guy call in talking about Flex, man, and complaining about Tariq and all this, that, and the third, man. Look here, man. I don't agree with people going on Vlad, man, to try to tell their stories or get their pieces off, but you know what I'm saying? Really, when you look at it, man, Vlad really owed Tariq, man, for a lot of the goofy shit he's been doing and still doing. So Tariq can get on there, man, and get his stuff off, you know what I'm saying, in a reference for us, you know what I'm saying, and reach more of the people that's Black American outside the United States that might, you know, not be privy to, you know, get to listen to him, you know, like his usual FBA family. You know, you get what I'm saying? Because it's a lineage. So, you know, a lot of these people coming in with the COINTELPRO, coming in with the PSYOPs and the Democratic shields and the tether bell, the whole nine. They trying to throw the whole kitchen sink at us. It's not working out for you. You know what I'm saying? The lineage is growing more and more, and the ones that understand the lineage is being more and more solidified on cold, and they can't stand it. They can't deal with it. They don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? They scrambling all around and just coming up here, man, attacking you, saying, "Oh man, Jason Black said this about you," and they trying to COINTELPRO trying to get us to all fall out with each other, man, because they don't know what to do, bro. They scrambling around. They whatever offense they come with, our defense is shutting it down, bro. And every time we on offense, bro, we scoring touchdowns, man. That's why I'm saying FBA lineage is getting more and more cold. Everybody, we got to keep the momentum going, and we're gonna keep these boycotts going on these tethers too, bro. They can't stomach it. They can't deal with it. They don't know what to do with it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why they keep coming at us, man. Every other week I hear you, Afro Elite. It was some tether or some musty ass tether or some Democratic op, you know what I'm saying? Or some op of Tyreek's or Jason Blacks come on here and they come with a whole bunch of babble and shower screaming and hollering like they got all kind of brooms and sticks stuck up their ass, man. I just don't understand how I don't get it. It's hilarious to me, but I just, appreciate that the family is on code, man, and we keeping our 10 toes to the ground and our head up, and we're going to keep pushing, and ain't nothing going to stop it. Ain't nothing they can do or say. Don't stop it, man. But with that one, I'll be one.
Black first, brother. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah. A lot of this, and notice that you're probably going to see that too, because that's probably going to be another one of their strategies to kind of make some type of feud or to try to instigate something either between me, Tariq, or Tariq and Jason or me. So notice that he had an issue with Tariq, then brought Jason up out of nowhere and tried to make it seem like there was some issue between me and Jason Black or whatever the case is, and notice he's really just, it's like he's trying to create some situation where there's like a tension or a feud. And the thing is like, let's be honest, what the brother said was correct. I don't agree with Vlad on nothing. I don't support Vlad. Okay. That being said, I also do not agree with Fox News. I don't support Fox News. I don't listen to Fox News. Okay. Can't stand them. Tariq has been on Vlad. Tariq has also been on Fox News. Now, when Tariq was on Fox News, he was talking about white supremacy and they got upset, or whatever the case is. He was holding it down on Fox News. And he probably did on Vlad. Now, it would be one thing if Tariq was up there shucking and jiving and his eyes was bucking when he was in front of Vlad or he was saying something off code. But notice the caller never specified anything problematic Tariq said. His whole thing was that Tariq was on Vlad's platform at all. It would be one thing if he was all like, man, Tariq said this. He's not saying that. So Tariq wasn't up there shucking and jiving. He wasn't up there with his eyes bucking, talking about, man, I don't think racism is really that big of a... He wasn't doing that. So Tariq was probably holding it down. Now, if you have an issue with Tariq being on Vlad, period, then you can talk to Tariq about that. I'm not the person to talk to about that. All right. Let's get to the next caller. Let's get to caller from area code 614.
Hi, my name is Destiny. I'm from Columbus, Ohio. I've been listening for a little while. I didn't change my talking points. I'm gonna be quick though. Looking in, I'm young. I'm only 25, but I've been watching a few different pages for some years now and just paying attention, listening. And it seems like right now everybody else in the world is going through like some type of midlife crisis about Black people, because of our stance, because of how we feel, because of how we're talking. Hence the last two, not the last two callers, but the two particular callers that we have spoke about, the tether and then the white woman worried about if we're going to retaliate with what we do. And saying that we shouldn't have any monetary gains. I want to speak on that. Since this inception of what became Black America, we have had to think, piece, and brainstorm on how to be the monetary gain. Like we had to be the thing that the tree that always kept giving in order to keep our family or keep our lineage or just keep ourselves from being eradicated so that we could get to this point in time. I'm sure we always knew that we was going to get here, but they created a great being, they didn't create it, but it was created, it was birthed, where everything that we do in our culture has some type of monetary gain and is bottled up somewhere out there in the world, from how we dress, how we talk, brainstorming ideas, our inventions, even I would say the scientific theory of even how to get to a point of where you have this thing that you say, okay, I'm done, the invention works. I done went through all the trials and tribulations. We had to do that. We had to do all the work. And it's just really funny that even the last lady to say that we shouldn't have any monetary gains and want us to be equal to them when we're not. If it was all merit-based, we are not equal to them. When we get our reparations, we will not be equal to them. I think that's the greatest fear that they ever had, and that's why they always try to put us down or grab some type of tether to show us, to make it think like they're Black American and show us like y'all really ghetto, y'all don't really do nothing, y'all really lazy. But it's not even us representing these different notions and things. And I just wanted to, I guess that was just heavy on my heart to say that it seems like they're really trying to destiny swap with us because they know that our head is about to be screwed on all the way tight. And all the things that we let go and let distract us, they trying to get us back on that boat to be distracted. When we know once we get reparations after that, we're coming for everything else after that too. Because that's the only thing that's really got us in a point where we're those rats that are in the lab that were set aside and they took away the resources, they took away their families, and they just watched them and seen how they went out of control. Even rats will decide to do drugs and stuff like that if they don't have a good living situation. And they know this experiment. They literally put us there just so we can lose our minds and be nothing. And they hate the fact that we have still resilience and not went that direction. They don't know what to do. They're scraping and scrambling. And I think that's just all I wanted to say just now because the calls kind of got a little, yeah.
Yeah, the calls kind of did get like all over the place. It really did. But as far as the lady is concerned, this is something that they always say that they want equality. But notice, if you want equality, why are you so afraid? You in the same call, she expressed that she wants equality, but she's afraid of us, like, I guess, overturning or coming after white people. So what she really wants is for white people to be in control. That's what she really wants.
Yes.
She doesn't want there to be a chance where black people have actual control.
I don't think they had any game plan or had any notion of it being anything different, because you even seen she went through like 3 different bloodlines to try and get you to latch on to be like, oh, okay, we can relate. She went through Native blood. She went through, what did she say, Irish blood. Then she said Mexican blood. Like they really, they're grasping for straws here to try and get us back. And it's amazing to just see with your own 2 God-given eyes, these groups of people make no complete sense and think that they're making sense. It's like a child trying to get out of getting their ASS whooped by their mama because they know it's coming.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Yeah, that's true. Notice that. That's a good point. That's a good point you made, Destiny. Notice that. She's calling because she's afraid for white people, and then she's not white. She keeps saying, I'm not white. I'm this, I'm that. They never are. They're always not fully white, but they're defending white people.
But she wanted white people to be, she wanted us to be equal to the whites. She didn't want us to be anything else but, problem is she didn't want us to be really equal to the white. But she said she wasn't the white. But she knows she is the white. It's just, it's a whole, it's insane. It's insanity. It's actual insanity. By definition.
That's true. I appreciate the call, sister. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you too.
Thank you. You have a good one. All right. Yeah, they very tricky, and they always claim, because that's like their defense. Well, I'm technically 3 parts is Native American, and then 2 parts Spanish and 2 parts okay. Yeah, but you're defending white people though. So what difference does your background make to me at that point? Caller from area code 678. You're on live. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, what's up, man? It's Dennis out of Atlanta.
What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah, I'm just listening, man. I listen to everything, and I say this, man. Just keep on doing great the job you're doing. Keep your foot on the necks, and brothers and sisters, get active, stay active. Right now, we're just rumbling. It's just a bubble right now. We still got a long way to go. This race is still something that we got to run. They're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens when an animal gets scared? An animal gets scared. It gets reckless. It gets dangerous when it gets scared. So right now they're scared, and you just got to be strong. You got to be brave. You got to be calculated. When our brother said to the white sister, to the Anglo, he said, "What do you think about reparations?" That's our whistle. Reparations is just our code. We don't stop and start. We don't end and begin. Well, we don't end on reparations. We start there, but we don't stop there. That's just a start. So when you're talking to them, you're engaging them, you're going through life with them, you just bring that up just as a whistle, just to see what they're gonna say, see how they're gonna respond, because that's gonna show you who you're talking to, who you're dealing with, and from there, you understand exactly what's in front of you, and you know how to move around it. And same with your brothers and your sisters, because me, I'm both. My mother, she's from one place, my father's from one place, but I always been a black man, I always been American. So it's just, I just got a love for all my black people. And as soon as I get to talking to a black person, because when you're from both places, or if you're a continental African or you're a Caribbean and black American, you can float in all different conversations. And depending on what you say and how you say it, shows me exactly where your alignment is. So I can go into any room, and if I'm with a group of Caribbeans, and as soon as I hear one Caribbean person say something like, "Oh, the black Americans this," my antenna goes up, and I say, "Okay, that's one. Now let's see who joins that one." If the whole room lights up and starts talking about black Americans, I know what room I'm in. It's time for me to start educating everybody in this room. We're gonna be fighting before this thing is over with, or I'm gonna just peacefully walk out, because I know I don't ever want to be around these people again. And it's the same with continental Africans. The mixed people are the ones who can float and go either way. You just you have to listen for the context clues. You guys got to stop writing everybody off, dumping everybody in a tether babble. You got to start paying attention, because we're moving into a critical part of this race that we in right now. We playing chess, baby, and we in the mid game. So, I love what you're doing, brother. I appreciate you. Hold it down, keep going, and everybody else, man, smarten up. We gotta strategize, and we gotta be quiet, because this is a public forum, and the public right now, domain got them afraid. But what we really need to be doing is moving in the private, in the background, quietly, like Dr. our Honorable Neely Fuller used to talk about. We all independent armies. So let's get it, baby. Peace and blessings.
Yeah. Now, real quick, brother, you said your parents are from 2 different places. Where are your parents from?
My father's from the Robert Taylor homes, man. You can Google my aunt. My aunt got assassinated. My aunt and my uncle got murdered in the projects in Robert Taylor homes, gangland style. My mother,
sorry to hear that.
My mother's British Guyanese.
Your mother is British and what?
She's British Guyanese. She's one of the people who her family migrated from Guyana when they needed laborers. Her family migrated up to Great Britain when they needed laborers.
Oh, okay. And you were born in America, right?
I was born in Alabama.
Okay. Well, sorry to hear that about your family. Yeah, and definitely we and that's the thing, we got to have discernment. And that's the thing. As far as foundational Black Americans, the way I did with that white woman caller, the way I did with some of those tether callers, your radar has to be, it's like your spidey senses. It can't go off. Your radar always has to be on all the time. Thank you for your call.
Very welcome, brother. Stay up, stay blessed.
You too, brother. All right. Yeah, I was like, something's about that. I'm like, let me ask. Let me inquire. All right. Caller from area code 313. You are on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Clyde Shabazz from Detroit, Michigan, calling in the name and spirit of Brother Malcolm X. Greetings, young minister of FBA Code. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm always happy to have the opportunity to dialogue with you, young Afro elite, and just give you that support. And just piggyback real quick on some of your talking points to some of the previous commenters and callers. We're in a time where you see the non-Black folks like the Latino whites or whatever who are giving their 2 cents because of the fear of a Black planet, if you will, of us getting some measure of justice. But I also wanted to highlight something along with the lineage-based cash reparations, something Dr. Claude Anderson, others, myself, yourself included, but just to remind your listeners, is that we also need a federal anti-Black hate crimes law to get protected status. Dr. Claude Anderson talked about that. We need the same protected class status like the Native Americans, because we know we're over policed, prosecuted, and judged by this criminal justice system. We need something similar to what the Native Americans have, where we have our own autonomy over our Black citizens so we can control the economics and the judicial system of our own people. We've been through enough with that. So I just wanted to remind the listeners of that, and then give out a couple of shout outs to a couple of newer Black media folks that are popping up. That's the Bantu Room and OG45 TV. If you ever get a chance, check them out, brother. I think you'll be quite pleased with their content as well. So you have more soldiers on the FBA Black media bandwagon now, and it's expanding. So I will land my plane there. I always just kicking back and listen. Oh, again, you remember I'm Clyde Shabazz, Green Party 2026, 2028. I told you, if you want to check me out, we do have lineage-based cash reparations and a federal anti-Black hate crimes agenda on our program. Some point in the future, if you would like to have me on to debate me and grill me and check us out, by all means, I welcome you and your guests to do that, brother. Keep doing what you're doing and stay strong, FBA family. Be one code forever.
Okay. If you said you're running, yeah, I know you've said that before. You're running what state?
Well, I'm on the
again?
I'm out of Michigan. I'm on the national committee, though, where I help to write and set policy. For this is nationally, so whatever's going on from California to New York, Michigan, and Mississippi, the National Green Party platform will have lineage-based cash reparations and a federal anti-Black hate crimes agenda in its national platform in 2026 and midterms in 2028 during the presidential elections. So I want to let you know that.
So
Lock my number in.
let me just ask you, because I'm not fully informed about the Green Party like that. Jill, what's her name? Jill Stein or Jill? What was her name?
Dr. Jill Stein was the
Jill Stein.
Yes, Dr. Jill Stein.
Was she a part of the Green Party, or is that something different? Is that like a
yes, just to fill you in real quick, she ran to fill the void in 2012, 2016, and in 2024. A guy named Howie Hawkins ran in 2020. I joined back when a Black woman ran in 2008 against Barack Obama. She was kicked out as a Democratic congressman by that racist Jewish group, AIPAC. They targeted her district because she was telling the truth about the white racist Jews in AIPAC and how they fund people. They put up a Black man to run against her. When she lost, she came over to the Greens, and I joined that year as well. And I've run for Congress against John Conyers out of here in Detroit, the original author of that bill, HR 40, that the Democrats talk up all the time. I originally ran against him. It was a scam bill then and there. I'm the Dr. Derek.
Okay, for the second time, brother. Because we're gonna have to probably have a further and more in-depth conversation about this subject. But who would you say are like the leaders of the Green Party? Or do you all have like is Jill Stein still like the head of the Green Party, or is this somebody
No,
else?
she's not the head of it, not even close. The Green Party is a political party, like, it's an independent party, but we have, from each state, we have elected people to the national committee. I'm one of those people out of the state of Michigan that's elected to the national committee. And out of those people out of the national committee, we all set policy on things from, reparations to immigration policy to banking reform and that sort of thing, just like the other parties. And I'm one of the folks, because I'm also in the Black Caucus. The Green Party has a Black Caucus, similar how the Democratic Party has a Black Caucus. And we debate these policy issues. And I have set the agenda because they trust my wisdom, because I'm in my 60s. I've got 40-something years in that. My background, just by way real
But
quick,
yeah,
I'm
that
the
was
nephew
just a quick question, because the conversation about the Green Party, I'm gonna have to do some more research. I don't necessarily like to speak on things that I'm not super informed about, and admittedly, I'm not super informed about the way the Green Party operates in comparison to the way the Democratic or the Republican Party operates. So I will have to do more due diligence on that. But I appreciate you answering that question for us.
No problem. And by all means,
We're gonna
keep
have to
the
look
number
in.
in. Yes, call me up anytime, and I'm very happy to dialogue, show reference articles and the like, and that sort of thing too. Because the whole purpose of me joining was to make sure our people have an option, because I don't want the couch to continue to be an option, and I want to punish both parties. And just from my perspective, Young Afro Elite, we're 25 years into the new millennium. I think it's time for both of those parties to be voted out of existence because they represent the old America. We're at the beginning stages of the rocket age, and our politics and our will should reflect these new ideas that a lot of young people are just reflecting.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you. I appreciate you.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm gonna look into that. I don't like to speak on things that I'm not super informed with. Let me be honest. Okay. Am I informed with the Green Party like that? Do I know the in and outs of the Green Party? No, I don't. And I will admit the fact that I don't. It's okay. I don't know everything. But I do know that Jill Stein, she fumbled the bag when it comes to reparations and stuff like that. I know the Green Party is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Now I know that if you're saying they work state by state, I'm gonna have to look into that. I can't say that's true or not true. I gotta look into that. I gotta do my due diligence on that. But as of right now, I can't co-sign a political party. Even if I co-sign an individual, that doesn't mean I co-sign a party. So I don't just, we got to do our due diligence. You know what I'm saying? We're open to conversation. We're open to conversation. But yeah, we're gonna do our due diligence. Yeah, we're not gonna make no mistakes anymore. We got to be very careful. All right. Let me see. Caller from area code 951. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, sir. This is Tamat from California, 951 Riverside. It's like the IE right before, like in the middle of San Diego and LA. I'm right there in the IE chilling. I just want to say thank you. But I come bearing just like a formula for if you're indigenous for you to try. And I'm really talking to you. If you take your hair, which is a part of a tree, this is only for indigenous if you're rooted. But everyone else too needs to do this too. This is a real rich. We gotta breathe as one, like really, really bad. So if you take foil, which literally like prolongs the life of genetically modified food and keeps it looking fresh, which is lame. If you take that foil and take a piece of wood in your neighborhood that's connected to the tree, which is the reason why they hang us on trees, but when you groom your hair, you take a piece of your hair and you wrap it around the wood, and then you get copper. We're the copper tone people, or like the copper indigenous tribes. That's the electric conductivity. And if you actually look at a copper coil, it matches our hair. And the brilliance of your like myology or your identity is that Nikola Tesla copied the Tesla coils off of your hair. You're amazing. Like all of us are amazing. But Then put a stone on top of that and then wrap it up in foil and then always hold that. Right there, I just told y'all all how to make like direct energy weapons, balancers, like our hair, your spit, your tears, your fluids are divine. We didn't look at blue screens or wipe our tears on handkerchiefs that were made by these artificial people, right? So all I want to do is just get people back to their roots. And once we start breathing more, we'll be able to talk and have a real conversation. Because like I know a lot of us were here listening to people, and people are here and people are there. Our breaths are out of whack, and we're not breathing like the way our ancestors breathed, like since the beginning dawn of time. And here, it's a formula, and you're a part of the formula. And all I want to do is have you test the theory, because I do not, cap. I'm not trying to monetize this, because that's what outsiders do, and they're not indigenous, and they're not digging this because they would try to put money on this. And the only reason why they didn't expose this is because they don't have the hair, and they always call it nappy and all this. No, it's antenna to your mind, and if your mind is a crystal mind, you're gonna shine just like us, the copper tribes. Also, they just took little aspects of us and then labeled us. Yes, they called us colored because we're the multicolored rainbow tribes. We're the radiation tribes. We're the frequency tribes, right? So they just take a little aspect and then call us that. Also, we're the tribes of the Titans. So they call us Negroes because we can expand and grow by our knees. They just take little things, and when we run with it and we put ourselves in a box. So all I want you to do is test my theory. I shall be calling on another, revolution. And I just want to see if your breath was breathing better, and if you just have a little bit more peace in your orc field and your energy. That's all. And I'm gonna land right there.
Okay, I got you.
Bet.
Thank you, brother. All right. All right. We get caller from area code 3.
Yo.
Caller from area code 310. You're on live.
All right, B1.
Right first, brother. What's on your mind?
Right on, bro. Okay, so let me. Damn, I didn't even know I was up yet. So I wanted to say, dear foundational Black American freemen, we need to form our own permanent interest party. Reparations. Several things, real quick. I know I only got 2 minutes, so I'll just say these things and let you go from there. Great job, by the way, in staying solid, brother, and discernment, definitely. DC, I'm from DC. I lived in LA, but I'm from DC. I'm in DC right now. My city looks like the pandemic. It's lit up at night. Now, you got enclaves, certain areas you go, people are going to be out on the block, but for the most part, it looks like the pandemic. They got beer gardens in white areas. They need to go up there and bother them over there. If you're going to bother everybody in the city, bother everybody in the city, not just Black people, Ward 7 and 8. So essentially, yeah, I just wanted to say that. Basically, my thing is we need to form a permanent interest party. It's always election season. You always see this propaganda popping up where you see Black people being harassed by cops, Black people being hurt and stuff like that, locked up. All of this trauma video, all of this propaganda media, it always happens in these certain cycles. All of this stuff, we can hoot and holler all we want. But until we actually come together and try to exact some type of change, and I think that begins locally, start with the ombudsman. Just like I told you last time when we were talking about in California, how they were doing when, they were doing the riots and stuff like that in Cali. We need to start with locally with the ombudsman, aldermen. I don't care if they running for sheriff. I don't care if they running for governor. I don't care if they running for a mayor, whatever position, even the president. We basically will vote in accordance to our benefits. That's what we need to focus on. Otherwise, we'll just, we can hoot and holler and yell. They trying to get us out in the street to march, but we already know that's a trap. But with voting, they don't know who you are when you vote until you vote, and your vote is private. It is also your personal privilege. We got to get more foundational Black Americans, register to vote. 2026 is about to come up, the midterms. That's all that stuff they doing with Amanda Seals and all of them tellers, all of that's happening. At the end of the day, every Black person stay on code. Make foundational Black American, make sure that you are registered to vote. And if you are not, get registered. Go to your neighbors and tell them, start with your family and your family members. Get them registered. If they're 18 or older, get them registered. And then vote in the interest of our people in every aspect, no matter if anything requires a vote in any office, any capacity, make sure we vote. And we vote in that area all the way up to the presidential election.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, that's the thing. You got,
all day.
thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, we got to make sure that as far as the thank you, brother. Appreciate the call. As far as the policy goes or whatever the case is, yeah, we got to make sure that we stay on that. We got to make sure that we stay on that. You know what I'm saying? If there's a politician out there that that's doing something for the community that you guys check out, that checks all the marks or whatever, ain't no red flag, vote. If there's not, don't. If there's not a politician that's on code, if there's not a politician that got an agenda, got a plan that's on code with it, you don't got to vote just cause. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that we should never ever vote ever again. I don't think that's ever been anything I said, and that's not what the community is saying. We just got to make sure that we check everybody, okay? And if somebody we rock with is on the ballot, cool. You know, we're gonna support with the people. We're gonna support the people that we rock with. If you got an agenda that we rock with, that we can get behind, that's gonna help us out, cool. That's we on that, okay? I would back that play. But if we looking at the ballot and ain't nobody got any agenda for us, or their agenda comes with a lot of caveats, like, let's be honest, and I'm not trying to say that about this brother, but even the Green Party, right? A lot of people talking about going to the Green Party, whatever. Even if we're talking about reparations, we also got to deal with the caveat of the Green Party is very lenient when it comes to immigration. We gotta keep that in mind too. The Green Party is they're way too lenient when it comes to immigration. So, you know, you got to take the good with the bad, and you got to weigh your options. And if it's not a good option, you don't got to vote. You can stay on the couch. You know what I'm saying? But we should just be doing our due diligence and be paying attention. All right. Let's get to caller from area code 425. You're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Amos Tucker. Calling from Washington.
What's on your mind, brother?
I just like I've been listening to you for a few hours. I'm an older brother. As a matter of fact, I was president of Black Student Association in the 70s. I actually know about COINTELPRO. I was told I was going to be the next Fred Hampton at one time. What I like to tell you about, I'm a veteran too. One thing, when we're talking about reparations, something else that we actually really need to focus a little more on. There were 200,000 Civil War soldiers, Black Civil War soldiers. Every soldier was eligible for 160 acres of land, not 40, 160. That's 32 million acres of land for living on, eating from, and drinking from, not paying somebody else for it. See, there was enough just with the soldiers who served in the Civil War for all of us to be housed, feeding ourselves, and drinking our own water. That's something we need to be aware of, and it doesn't come up. Now, another thing is that the official end of the Civil War was August 20th, 1866. Now, what they had done by that time was set up our re-enslavement. We keep hearing about how things went. You know, we were taught that you know, we had Civil War, and then after the war we went through Reconstruction. Well, it's not true. After the Civil War, when we went right back into slavery in a new form. We were betrayed.
Brother. Yeah, we don't have too much time left, so yeah, we're gonna have to be brief.
Okay. Well,
Once you get to
okay. Well, actually, that's good enough. I just like to add that. Okay, the railroads received 200 million acres. The whites received over 100 million acres of land. They got 18 million acres just for universities. Now, we got nothing like that. Okay, and I don't really want to go into it any further. That's I'll land it right there.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
think that's something we need to look into.
Yeah, we definitely do. We need to pull up all the receipts and all the invoices. We definitely do. You know, because they owe us a lot. And the more we start digging, the damn longer their bill gets, the bigger their bill gets. I mean, you know,
yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That we gotta know our history about. So thank you for that.
All right.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, yeah, that's definitely true. We'll get to this last caller. You know, it's just the time thing because there's things I have to handle. So I don't have too much time left. That's the only thing. But yeah, we definitely gotta. We definitely. I like what he was saying. We definitely gotta. I mean, the G1 bill was a whole lot of stuff that we were promised, and not had none of those promises actually delivered. None of that. So we definitely have to learn about that. Anytime we do these calls, we have people being all like, "Hey, my family was old boo up the bam in New Jersey," or "My family had this many anchors," and "My family had all of this stuff." You know, so it's good that we get our receipts on all of that because we need all that back. Caller from area code 347. You're on live. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Caller from area code 347. You're on live. What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this lot dollars. I'm calling from Brooklyn.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I wanted to say, like, we just gotta stay on code. I see a few people out there, and they fighting to stay one big generic African. So we just gotta ignore some of these people. They all on TikTok. They telling people if you don't got no tribe, and if you don't know this person of your ancestry, then you're not really down, and all of this nonsense. So I just want to let everybody know, just a reminder, ignore those people, block them, stay on code. You know what your grandmother told you. You know the essence of your family. You know where you're from. Don't let nobody tell you that you're not FBA, Foundation Black American. I'm going to land my plane.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, there's some folk out there trying to make us be this, big, undefined nationless. Because when they to make us a group of nationless people, we have some good callers. That'll wrap things up for that. So yeah, that'll wrap things up for the calls. All right. So yep, that'll wrap things up. We had some pretty good calls. It was a pretty good call in. Okay. Yeah, we're foundational Black American. Don't let nobody try to make it seem like a cult or a group or nothing like that. And we're going to be going into more on that tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe so we can go into that more tomorrow. Let me shout out Henry for the Cash App. We got to shout out the Cash App family always supporting in the Cash App. Also, we got to support the Super Chat family, the family always supporting the Super Chat. Okay. Nisi says, Afro, you have the patience of a job. God bless you, my FBA warrior. God bless you too, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you for your call. Antithesis again says the fragility is real. That's true with that white lady. Okay, it is. Because the thing is that she expressed she doesn't want true equality. They don't want true equality. They want power. They want power. And they feel like if they don't have the power over another group of people, then they're subject to what they have put other people through. All right. And the issue that they have with us getting reparations, because they've given reparations to other groups of people, Japanese, quote unquote, the red Native Americans, all of these other groups of people, they've given reparations to other groups of people, but they know that those other groups of people are not trying to change a racial hierarchy. They know we are. They know we're coming to dismantle this whole racial hierarchy that they got set up. All of that got to go. And they know giving us reparations is going to be particularly dangerous for their system of racial power that they want to keep. Okay. So that's why they wouldn't have an issue giving the Japanese people reparations, or the red Native Americans reparations, or the Jews reparations, or all of these other groups of people reparations, because there's like, okay, well, we going to give them money and they're going to be straight. If we give the foundational Black Americans money, yeah, we're going to have a problem. That's going to be a problem. We can't give them we can give them something else. We can't give them money because they going to flip it, and that's going to be a big problem. I mean, we can't have that. So she actually expressed a lot when she said that. She expressed what their real fear is. Okay? Is that their hierarchy, their racial hierarchy will be dismantled, and they don't want that. Shout out also to Mike and Latrivia for the cash apps as well too. Let me get to some of the other super chats. Crystal, thank you very much, Crystal, for the super chats. Thank you all very much. Okay, I think this is a good way to start the week off. Thank y'all. But you know, we've been here. You know, we don't have too much time tonight, but it's okay. We got a good few hours in. Good few hours. That's good. I like it. Appreciate you guys. Okay, I like this. I like doing the open mic thing. For the month of September, there's going to be we got to be a little bit more careful, because we were doing really well during the month of August, but we had that slip up with the age restriction. So it kind of threw the channel's momentum off a little bit. As you guys kind of know, it was going up, and then we kind of had a dip, and we making a recovery. So we made a good recovery. But, you know, we had that dip. So we're just going to be more careful. I'm going to be, y'all didn't mess up. I messed up. I'm going to be more careful during the month of September. So that way the channel can, you know, have its momentum, you know, uninterrupted. Okay. So, you know, that's what we got to do. We just got to make improvements. We got to always fix flaws and work on ourselves and make improvements. And that's good. That's good. All right. So thank you all very much. Also, we're going to try to be implementing more calls. We're not going to do it like on an every night thing. We're not doing it every night, but we are going to try to add more calls in. So that way, you know, more people get a chance to call in and weigh in on certain subjects as well, too. All right. So be looking forward to that. And the sound effects. I kind of like the sound. You know. But that's cool. I like it. It's cool. All right. But with that being said, family, Black First as always, thank you all very much for listening, liking, and subscribing. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. That's what y'all need to do. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new, thank you all very much. If you guys have been here, thank you all very much. Appreciate y'all. And hit the notification bell. That way you guys do not miss out on anything we got going on. We got some good stuff coming up, so y'all don't want to miss out on that. That being said, Black First as always, my family, my exceptional brothers and sisters, y'all stay blessed.